What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Gen TV podcast. As always, your boy Ease.
Hey, when the sauce guy.
And before we get into today's guest, make sure y'all do us that one favor. Drop a like, drop a comment, hit that sub button.
Please.
But on to our guest. We got the
legendary.
Man, the legend, the not so disgruntled Chris Fury, man. You're not as disgruntled as I imagined you to be.
I am not disgruntled.
He's been pretty chill so far.
I have an aggressive personality, but I am not disgruntled.
The street slide. The street slide. Yo, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you. We definitely appreciate it.
How's everything?
Yeah, everything's good, man. Everything is good. Life is good. You know?
Good?
Yeah. Better than it ever has been. So.
Better
really?
than ever.
What's making it better?
Progression.
Okay.
You know, like a different, I'm in my early 40s now, so like my perspective has changed.
Okay.
And I wish my perspective had changed a long time ago. I think a lot of life is just perspective. You could be in the same situation with the same money in the same house in the same car as 10 other people, and everybody has a different perspective on how their life is or has panned out. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like you're having a midlife crisis? You know, when men hit that 40, you
Not-
want to buy that Porsche?
It's not really. No, I did all that early.
Okay.
But it's not like for me, it's not a crisis. It's just like growth.
Yeah.
And for the first time, I like see it in myself, and I noticed all of the things that I was doing wrong for a long time. So it hasn't been like a crisis.
It was like a self-reflection moment.
Yeah,
You're like,
for
okay,
sure.
damn, this is where I fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, so
sure.
kind of like off script, if you could go back to like your 20, let's just say 22-year-old self, what would you tell yourself?
Damn, stop doing so much for a check.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Real
All right,
shit.
that's
Money isn't
definitely,
everything.
That's
Nah,
definitely some of the
it's
stuff
it's
we'll get
not,
into.
and it's not, and I spent a good portion of my life chasing checks.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that not only is it not everything, but I think chasing money sends you down the road you don't want to go down sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of people end up doing things that they normally wouldn't do because
for
of money.
sure.
From
Yeah,
money.
for sure.
How the Illuminati charges come in. But all right, man, we got some segments here for you.
Mm.
We know you're very involved in the music industry when it comes to Connecticut artists.
Yeah.
You know, for the people that don't know, hopefully this is a good introduction into you, a good learning process for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So our first segment today is called Music Industry Knowledge.
Okay.
All right. What's the first thing every artist should know but don't?
How to own your music.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you give us like a breakdown of how to go about that?
See, because I would think, I don't make music, right? I would think you make a song, and is it not yours, or like you
No.
can sell it, or how does that work?
No, it's never yours until you make it yours.
Okay.
Contractually and with all of the entities with like Song Trust or BMI or ASCAP, CSAC, like you have to register your music, which shows ownership. You have to input the correct metadata. You have to hopefully own the beat,
Okay.
right? And like even if you bought it, you don't own it until there's a piece of paper that says you own it.
Okay, because I know a lot of artists nowadays, they'll take beats from like
They don't own it.
YouTube producers like that.
It's a licensing deal.
So say they do that, the song goes off.
Mm-hmm.
Who owns the song at that point?
The producer.
The producer of the beat.
Yeah, he could pull it down in 60 seconds.
Actually, you know, the funny thing is that did happen to DDG and the other streamer that he made a song with. I can't remember his name right now, but they made like a really big song. And then the producer kind of last minute decided to change his life and pulled the song down.
Yeah,
you actually heard the song before.
They own the rights to the record. So even if you own your lyrics and you own whatever it is that you contributed to that record, you only own that portion of that record.
Okay.
And any dispute, like, okay, say the two of you make a record, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you hire a girl down the street to just sing this little melody, this little baby melody.
Yeah.
If she feels that she wants more of the record or that you used it without her clearance, she can pull it from a DSP in 60 seconds.
Gee, that's fucked up.
So how do you go
Avoid
around
that.
that?
I mean, you try to get beats from people that you know, or if you're getting them from online, you want exclusive agreements, not licensing deals.
Okay.
Right? A lot of the deals on YouTube is where a producer will put a beat up and he'll license the song to 500 artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? you can ask for an exclusive deal, but that's normally going to cost you more money than the free or the $10 or whatever it is that you pay for it.
Right.
But, you know, half the problem in general with artists, I'd say not even half, I'd say like 80% of the problem is that the internal stuff isn't right for when the music comes out. Like if the music comes out and the internal stuff isn't right, you can't even collect your money correctly.
A lot of people are on the pretenses of like, you know, I'll figure it out when I get there kind of thing.
You know, unlike anything else with music, the minute someone streams or buys a product, it's immediately money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like if you make a record and you get 1 million streams, it goes viral in 3 days. If your stuff isn't set up, you make $0.
So who's making the money at that point if it's just out there?
Nobody. It sits in a black fucking cloud at BMI or ASCAP or with Song Trust. It just collects.
So not even the
dust.
streaming platforms collecting the money off that.
No.
Okay.
No. Streaming platforms don't make a lot of money from your music.
Okay.
And there's no money in streaming.
Yeah,
There's zero money.
That keeps
Yeah.
coming up quite often.
No. I don't mean from an artist standpoint. I mean
Okay.
from like Spotify doesn't make any money on music.
Well, how about the subscription fee they charge people?
Do you know how much money it costs to run Spotify?
No.
20 million records a day are updated. Their server space costs roughly 1.5 million a month. Right? So licensing, you're paying out. The way Spotify works is there's 100% of a record, right?
Yeah.
About 70% or so is paid directly to the artist. Okay? About 10 to 15% is then paid to publishing.
Mm.
And then Spotify takes 15%. Right?
Really? I thought it was way different. I thought Spotify was taking like 90% and
No,
giving everybody
fuck
else
no.
crumbs.
Yeah, you definitely hear about it with like Apple Music.
And mind you, this is 15% of 0.00000067.
Right.
Okay.
Right?
Hey.
And then here's the other part that people get wrong about DSPs, like Spotify mainly. They have 700 million, 650 million users.
Mm-hmm.
Only 300 million pay.
Yeah, because there's a free option.
The other
You just gotta deal with, like,
300 or 400 million people are streaming music for free. Who
But-
do you think's paying for that?
But they also run a lot of ads for the people that pay for.
So
that
they
listen
make
for free.
money on ads. They don't make money on music.
Right.
Spotify turned their first profit ever in 2025. They were losing between $2 billion and $6 billion a year for
Damn.
14 years. Go
Is-
look it up.
Is Apple more profitable?
Fuck
Spotify?
no.
Oh, they're
Apple
just-
don't
they're
give
just
a
as bad.
shit. Apple is even worse because Apple doesn't care about music. They own an entity that owns an arm.
Right.
It makes 0 sense for them to not have a streaming platform because they own Apple.
Okay.
So like music is a tax write-off for Apple.
Damn.
They don't give a fuck. There's
All right.
no money to
All
be
right,
made.
man. Hail Mary shot here. Is Tidal any better?
No.
People's Tidal's promoted in a way where it's more beneficial to
so they
artists.
do they do pay the most.
Okay.
And it's kind of not even close, right? The problem is they got 1 million users. No one fucking uses Tidal
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
because it's $19.99. Bro, people want cheap free shit. Streaming has happened because us as consumers are fucking greedy and we want everything right now.
Yeah.
Streaming happened because of piracy.
Yeah.
That's why it happened. The labels just didn't create fucking streaming. They were trying to figure out how to stop theft.
Piracy, right.
I mean, bro, I used to go to the CD store every day, get like burned CDs. You know what I
Man,
mean?
forget the
That was
CD
just-
store.
yeah.
They had apps that would just like
The
DatPiff.com
LimeWires
used
or
to-
Dat
Yeah,
Piff
I'm just
or-
saying, but like,
There's-
I was doing anything I could to not pay
Not
for
for
music.
pay for it, right.
Music is at the point that it is because people got cheaper and cheaper and more impatient, and their want to consume became higher.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like the labels didn't want to leave. And now, mind you, like when I first started, it was the end of tape. It was like tapes, but towards the end of tapes.
Okay.
And then it went to CDs, and then it went to digital downloads, and then it went to ringtones, and then it went to streaming. You know, I've seen the process of elimination
Right.
kind of through them all.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So streaming can be extremely lucrative for an artist if they own the music. But streaming as a whole, again, get back to, so Spotify is paying artists, right, for 300 million people to stream their music for free.
Yeah.
So Spotify is literally saying, don't worry, consumers, I'll take it in the ass, pause, and I will pay you all this money for people to not pay for your music.
Damn.
Spotify is not the devil. Do I think that shit needs to change? Do I think that they need
this is like the first time I've ever heard this perspective.
Because they don't...
because people... As detailed.
But people make it seem like Spotify is like
no,
the
they
biggest
don't
problem when
they
it comes
don't
to
understand
music.
it. Okay. Because they don't understand the DSPs. They see clips and things on the internet. And again, do I think Spotify needs to pay more money? Yes. Do I think...
But from where, though?
That's what I'm saying.
Can they afford to pay more money?
They can because there's people making $300 million at that company, right? Like, so they can afford to, but it's just not, the money comes from the advertising, not the music. They make very incremental amounts of money on the music.
Okay.
The majority, 90% of their money comes from ads. So like, I also, as the app gets bigger and as the space grows, right? Like when they reach 1 billion users, their overhead's not getting cheaper. It's getting more expensive. Like,
even though it's digital?
Yeah. Because again, all right, you got to think about how much it costs to license 30 million songs. You have to pay in order for you, if you're on Universal, you have to pay Universal a fee to just license it. Not even stream it, to just license it.
Sure.
So they're paying money to license music before it even streams. You know what I'm saying? That was a problem with like iTunes. iTunes had like over 5 million songs that never, ever even received one stream, but they were paying for the licensing. They were paying for the server space. They were paying, you know what I'm saying? And they're 3-4 million songs with not one download.
Yeah. Got waste of time.
It's wild.
Waste of time, waste of money.
Yeah. That's the reason YouTube made the switch and went and they want a base amount of listeners, a base amount of followers or views before you can start getting paid. Okay. Because they want to make sure that the people doing this for a living get paid and not the people that are doing this.
You gotta earn this shit.
Right.
All right, man. All right. Yo, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Great breakdown. All right. How do new artists get radio play, and is it even important anymore?
Hell yeah, it's important.
You think so?
Fuck yes.
In 2026?
Yes. Radio is still...
Maybe Pandora.
Nah, man. Radio is still the dominant listenership in America.
Really? I haven't listened to the radio in years.
Go look it up.
I mean, yeah. You
have to understand that people don't necessarily go to radio to listen to the radio. They turn the radio on.
Just to have it on.
Right. Just white noise.
I was just about to say that. Like sometimes when like you're driving in a car or your phone may not be connected, you're playing a radio.
You're playing a radio. I don't connect my phone because my phone rings every 6 seconds. I get a text, GPS. So like I don't use it. So I play the radio all day.
Okay. So
I don't know, man.
The reason
so that's the first part. That's the first reason why. It's still the dominant app, right? 2, it's still free.
Very.
Right?
Very.
Period.
Very.
3, radio coincides with Shazam. Shazam coincides with all streaming networks. Program directors, they go look at Shazam before they even look at Spotify or Apple. Because Shazam is someone actually pulling a phone out of their pocket and being like, yo, what is this?
Because they're too embarrassed to ask their friend the name of the song.
And some of them don't even know the name of the song. But like, it's the most direct-to-consumer way to be like, yo,
I need to know this.
I need to know the name of the song. Why are they listening to this song? Huh? Shazam is probably somewhere in the middle of the top 3 tools in music. And it's how you delegate a record. You know, like even, I'll give like with Anoyd, right? The program director, Buck, called us one day and he was like, yo, have you looked at Shazam? And we were like, this is 2017. Okay. So Shazam was like new. I really wasn't on it yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, what's up with Shazam? And he was like, yo, Anoyd is the #1 Shazammed artist in Waterbury, in Hartford, in Bloomfield, in New Haven. He was like, he's top 3 in the state with Lucky. Because they just started playing Lucky. He had like 8,000 Shazams in like 3 weeks. That means that people were like, what is this?
I gotta know who this guy is.
So it all coincides. The biggest streamed records are also normally big on the radio.
Okay.
Normally. Like we take NBA Youngboy out of it. Yeah. But like any other top 40 record. Yeah. Any other top 40 record is normally big on radio and big on streaming. So
but
yes,
how long
matters.
of a grip? Sorry, how long of a grip do you think that radio is gonna, or how much longer do you think radio is gonna have a grip on the music industry?
I just feel like they can survive for a while because they can just continue to lower their overheads. Like as you see stations doing, they're just letting go of people and syndicating radio. Mm-hmm. So like there's stations now, like in San Francisco, that have one person that work there, but they got 100,000 listeners a day, and there's no one working there. It's just an office.
But back to the earlier question. So you answered,
and they can, and an artist can get radio play.
Okay. How do artists go about it? Because I think a month or two ago, we had one of our videos kind of go viral with one of our guests complaining that 93.7 doesn't play local artists.
It's bullshit.
How do? I mean, I guess that feeling from him came from somewhere, right? A lot of artists related to it.
A lot of
artists. So instead, how should artists go about getting on the radio in Connecticut?
So can I first say again, it's not being educated on how it works and not necessarily paying attention, right?
Okay.
On Hot 93.7 to this day, and it was more in like the 2015 to 18 range, but to this day now, you can hear 7 to 10 local records per day, every single day. Are they in rotation? No. Are they getting 50 spins a week? No. But 7 to 10 records. You're going to hear one in the morning show mix, no matter what. You're going to hear 2 to 3 in the midday mix, 12 to 1, no matter what. You're going to hear 1 to 3 at the Ride at 5 with Craig, no matter what. You're going to hear 1 during Freshest Show. You're going to hear 2 to 3 to 4, even 5 on Billy Bush's show because it's later.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Every day, 7 to 10 records are getting played. Connecticut is probably top 20 station in the country for playing local music.
Really? That's surprising.
There's just not a lot of local music being played all over the country. It just like the Atlantas and like the Miamis, you have to take out those markets. They don't count. Like, I hate to say that, but they don't. Like, when you go to Alabama, there's nobody in Alabama getting played on the radio in Alabama. Yeah. When you go to like San Diego is a top 20 market and doesn't even have a major signed artist. We'll get to this later with the whole Connecticut thing. But like, people don't really pay attention. And how much do you listen to the radio?
Not often.
So for you to tell me that you don't hear no CTRs on the radio is blasphemy. How many rappers are listening to the radio 18 hours a day? I'm going to say none.
I mean, but the thing is I will say from the rapper's perspective, it's not so much that they themselves listen to the radio, which I guess it could kind of go along with that as well. But I think also it's having such a hard time getting their personal music on the radio. Why? Because it's not even such a Connecticut thing. It's kind of like nationwide.
No, it's nationwide. But why should it be? Why should it be easy? Like, think of in Spotify terms. There's like, I don't know, 3 to 5 million songs per day getting uploaded every day. So the radio station they're taking a chance, number one. Yeah. Right? There's a whole chain of command. So like in order for a DJ to play you, the DJ has to like you, and then the DJ has to bring it to the mix show director, and then the mix show director got to go to the program director, and then the program director got to go to the station director. Like there's a chain of command, right? And the station director and the program director are looking at numbers. So why do they put you in and not Mano or not Lil Baby or not? Because that's in essence, you're taking away a spin.
So is the station director the last person that approves it? Like that's the person that really needs to make it up to for your song
for a rotation record.
Okay.
Not to get played during like Craig's show. The program director probably makes that final call. Okay. But the station, if you're going to be in at 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 times a week like a Rihanna or a Drake, like that type of thing,
I mean,
but individually a DJ can just play your song.
No, hell no.
Say I'm a DJ and I like this song. I can't just play it.
Absolutely not.
I have to go and get it approved.
Yes.
Even if I just want to play it one time.
The station uses one computer.
Okay.
So you as a DJ walk in and you use Hot 93.7's computer. And the only music in that computer is uploaded by the mix show director or the program director.
Okay.
So you can know there was a day where DJs would bring their own computers in and they play whatever they want. That's not that day anymore.
Okay.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
a lot of times these artists are blaming the DJs when it's really not up to the
They
DJs.
can't do anything. They literally cannot do anything.
All right. Understandable. Now just find who the station director is. Go threaten him,
Right.
not the DJs.
No, but so listen, when it comes to radio, there's a bunch of things that need to work, right? So records got to be clean. A lot of times, again, program directors are looking at it like this record needs to fit in the rest of the mix show. So this record, you need to be able to go from a Lil Wayne record to the local record to a Keisha Cole record.
Where it's not like a hard stop of like,
Wait, what's happening?
Like,
who they just
So
sneak in here?
the
Like,
BPM, all that stuff, the content of the record, all that stuff matters, right? So that part has to be right. You have to have clean versions, TV tracks, instrumentals. If you want to give DJs will tell you, if you go give a record to a DJ and you want them to play it, you want to start the beat and let the beat rock before the song drops so the DJ can bring it back and spin, and it makes the DJ's job easier.
Right.
So there's DJ versions, there's clean versions, right?
Now, does money help this situation? Like,
Not to a DJ.
I got a quality song, right? Like, it's a lot of people are rocking with, like, maybe it's going viral, some are viral, like on YouTube, whatever, right? I got a clean version. I'm not getting no radio play. Can I pay a DJ or can I pay somebody at the station? You can't pay for it either.
No, you can hire a record breaker. That's how you get on radio. What's a record breaker? What Muka Fair did. They're a person who goes across the country and breaks your record at radio stations.
Are you a record breaker?
I was for a while.
Okay.
I worked for my mentors who are the biggest radio breakers in the game, who also signed Mook and Fair and broke them. My first business with them was them signing Mook and Fair.
Okay.
So, and they kind of took me under their wing from there. So you hire a record breaker and you pay that record breaker X amount of dollars to use his relationships. And, he flies out to Houston, takes the program director out to lunch, pays for the lunch for all the DJs.
This is like lobbying.
Plays, yes, it's exactly what it is.
Right.
Plays the music. There's stories of these dudes. I had a program director. I had Buck tell me one time when this was with Mook and Fair that these two record breakers, they were at the Grammys, and one of the record breakers was crossing the road handing out CDs to famous people that were out there, program directors, all these guys that were there, and the CDs dropped in the middle of the fucking road. And this dude that's worth X amount of dollars that has 50 number one records is scrambling on the ground to pick up the Mook and Fair Who's Your Daddy CDs.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow, yeah.
So yes, the correct way to go about it is to hire a record breaker. But if you're local, what you want to do, I'll tell you what you want to do. You want to make sure the music part is right, right? Clean versions, all that stuff. You want to email the mix show director or the program director or both, or get a hold of some DJs, send an email, send a record. I'd love for you to listen to this record. And then you want to maybe wait a couple of weeks, pop out to a couple of clubs, send a couple follow-up emails and say, hey, I'd love to host a mixer meeting. So most stations have a mixer meeting on Fridays or Mondays.
Yeah.
All the mixers come in, they do lunch, they talk about new records, whatever labels are sending. You say, I want to host a mixer meeting. Can I come to the station? I'll buy lunch for everybody, let you guys listen to the music. And then they have to start seeing you move. They have to start seeing you on social media. They have to start seeing you in a club. And that's all a part of the process.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I could understand the gripe of the artist because it's I feel like you say, how can they transition from a Lil Wayne record to a Keisha Cole record? But I feel like even in the terms of popular music right now, I feel like they drilled a certain song so many times on radio. And it's I feel like one of those slots could be given to a local artist. It's
So-
we've already heard this Little Baby song 6 times before.
All right.
Can we get
So we want, the data shows
Right.
that people just want to hear their favorite song over and over and over.
I mean,
and
that's
over.
us, bro. When you like a song, you're playing that shit 20 times a day.
So and
I'm not breaking it in with the local artists.
But even listen, they've got it down to, so there's this thing that used to be called the PPM meter. This is how radio worked probably until 16 or 17, maybe even 18. It's this little pager they gave to 3,000 people in the market. It's like a third party company. They would come in, boom, right? They would wear the pager. The pager tracks the station, the frequency you're listening to. So say there's a Rihanna song on, right? And then a Jim Jones song comes on and you change the station, that shit alerts the pager. Boom.
Oh,
They didn't
nobody
like
rocking
they,
with this.
they didn't like the Jim Jones song. But it was also kind of weird because you may have a girl in the car. You may have already listened to the Jim Jones song. You may have heard his album 45 times. So it was a little tough to gauge.
There's a lot more nuances
but
to it.
even with Spotify, why do you think 1% of artists get 90% of streams? Because people want to hear their favorite shit over and over and over and over.
I get sick of it. Especially like especially for like, I don't know how
get,
it is.
But also,
how long does it take you to get sick of it though? You've already played it probably multiple times.
It's
before
not
you get
so
sick
much
of
the song that I pick. I don't know how Spotify works, but for Apple Music, I'm an Apple Music user. And whenever I pick a song, they kind of like curate their own.
For sure.
Like,
same way.
Like up next song,
Playlists.
you know?
Yep.
And it's like, I feel like the up next songs are always the same. And it's irritating because it's not really songs that either fit the vibe or it's songs that I've heard so many times because of like, that you may pick, I don't know, a SZA song and it plays a specific song after. You may pick like a Summer Walker song and it plays the same song.
Yeah,
after,
I mean,
know?
unfortunately, that's just the algorithm doing its job.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that it's the same way with radio. So also the way radio works is like, all right, if you go to a station right now and a program director goes out on a limb and plays your record and puts you in rotation, and then if nothing happens with that record, like if you don't take it to Boston and Miami and all these other records, then what he did was just waste all his time. And all he did was show the person upstairs that the local thing didn't really move.
Oh,
And also,
so
there's been plenty of local records in rotation.
How would an artist do that though? Like say a program director takes the chance playing his music.
You hire a record breaker.
So it really
It's the
comes
only
down-
way.
Is there any record breakers in Connecticut right now that you would recommend for artists that are watching that like
In Connecticut, no.
No?
But one of the greatest, which is Ron Stewart, who is possibly the most successful. I mean, he's now, I think, the senior VP of radio for, I don't even know. It might be Warner or Atlantic. Ron Stew is a legend.
That name sounds familiar.
He was a record breaker for years. That's how he made his name, and now he's running.
But is this
Rapid
something
Radio.
like can I Google
No.
a record breaker? Like
No.
you just got to know somebody. To know somebody.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's
So
kind of.
it's kind of like impossible then.
It's not impossible, but it's the way this industry shit works. You know, like you just gotta move around enough and network enough. And
Do record breakers ever contact people if they see potential?
yes, if they see a record moving,
They'll contact the artist. And be like,
that's
"Yo."
what happened with Who's Your Daddy.
Okay.
That's what happened. Listen, when Anoyd, Lucky, or Who's Your Daddy started getting 50 spins a week, the phone started ringing immediately.
Right.
Because the labels are watching that and the stations are watching that. So it was immediate.
I mean, to I guess go along with your point, I could see that because I feel like one of my biggest gripes with Connecticut artists, which we'll get into at some point, I feel as though they don't put in the work outside of their music too often, and even within their music, you know, like they're not on social media, they're not at the clubs, they're not doing the background work in order to get the attention that they deserve. You know, they feel like because
they post a song and that's it.
They post a song and then they think they're too cool for everything else.
Listen,
you know?
there's moments where you can just post a song and it just all of a sudden, boom, right? But it's so far and few between. I spent my whole life, and every other artist that I've worked with in Connecticut or outside of, when it was their time to move,
yeah,
they were moving. I mean, look at, you familiar with Millie's?
Yeah.
The white kid from Boston.
You are.
from
You know,
Cambridge?
we've talked about him.
He's
before.
like,
possibly.
but that dude he was out in 2011, 2010 when Webby was out. Millie's put his foot on their necks and was driving from Boston to New York
He's
7 days a
Benny
week.
the Butcher now, right? Is that?
No, he's signed to Jadakiss.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But he was in every club, at every award show, at every freestyle,
Put in
at
the work.
every cipher.
Yeah.
I mean, it was at every radio. He was just coming through Connecticut, popping in 4 clubs in a night. That's how he made himself move.
Work ethic,
You know what I'm saying?
ethic.
And I think the internet has made people lazy because now you can just like send DMs and shit, but
Yeah.
there's no real personal connection. The majority of my career is built on like in-person
Like
people,
footwork.
yeah, person-to-person connection and relationships. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So I just feel like the radio is misunderstood because, again, they don't understand the business of radio. You know, like you'll have artists bring a record to a station and the station will be like, yo, this record's hot. And yo, is it media based? Is it BDS? And they'd be like, what's media based? And at that moment, the station's like,
So for the people that don't know, what are those things?
That's how you register your song to track. So if it's not registered with MediaBase or BDS, no one knows your song's getting played.
Oh, so it's like it could be getting played, but
no label sees it, no other station sees it. Like a person will hear it, but it's not showing up for publishing or anything. No data. You know what I'm saying? So like that's also the pull. It's like, all right, is this again? If I play this record, is this kid in the club gangbanging? Is he gonna make the station look crazy? Right? Like we've had this where dog. We've had, you know how many artists I could tell you that didn't get played on Connecticut radio because they were afraid of attaching themselves to the shit they did outside of the radio?
That's a
it's a corporate entity, dog. You can't play games with corporate entities.
But I feel like that's the thing that gravitates. That I feel like corporations tend to gravitate towards because that's what people.
Not when it comes to employees, bro. Not when it comes to employees. Yo, there would be people calling.
How would you explain like the Young Thug situation? Like, for example, that's like most recent where like they're heavily promoted YSL, you know, like
6ix9ine situation.
All that,
he went to 6ix9ine, stopped getting played on radio afterwards.
I mean,
yeah, but no radio play afterwards.
No, I think that's true now. But on the come up, like he was still doing mad shit outside and getting like.
But that's not you attaching to yourself to a local artist in Hartford where you grew up at.
Okay,
it's not the same. It is not the same. If you know how many artists have called the station and threatened families for not playing records. Do you know how many? Listen, at least I had a program director call me and be like, "Yo, we got to stop playing so much Anoyd music." And why is that? Because we're getting 100 phone calls a day, hating on Anoyd, talking shit about Anoyd, talking about you, talking about people's families, threatening DJs because another Connecticut artist was getting played.
I will say that about Connecticut. That is like the mentality here.
This has been going on for years.
If it ain't me,
I don't
want it to be anybody around me.
I need you to call Fair. Fair will tell you hundreds of calls a week calling in, like, why are you playing so much Mooka Fair? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot that
people
goes,
should be proud.
There's a lot that goes into it locally, right? Like the station. You know why they don't give away tickets to clubs anymore? Because people were getting shot and beat up in the clubs, and the station was getting sued. So like, unless it's like the Civic Center, like you don't hear them giving away tickets to nothing no more.
That used to be like a regular thing.
It was until they started getting attached to lawsuits. People driving drunk, getting in an accident. Oh, the station was promoting that. Oh, we're mentioning them in the lawsuit.
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm saying? So it's much bigger. Again, too, like if your business isn't right, the station can't help you. Right? Like, and again, you have Atlantic Records, Universal, all these labels send in 50 records a week. Why play this guy from here over the person that's going to have a big record somewhere or a big budget poured into them? Or the station is taking a risk to an extent because they're based on programming, right? Why do you think Spotify doesn't just throw random artists up in Most Necessary? It's a curated program based on the numbers. You know how hard it is to get in Rap Caviar? You know, it's the same.
See, but when it comes to Spotify, can't a lot of that stuff be bought though? Can't you buy it? Like buy streams?
No. You can buy streams. You can't buy a playlist ever.
But if you buy enough streams, can that get you in a playlist?
No, because they can see it.
Okay, so it's transparent for them.
Yeah, Spotify can see it, that each stream is fake.
So essentially, when you're buying streams, you're fooling like the regular consumer, not Spotify.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I also, there's also a difference between.
So how do you feel about buying streams and bots? And is that something you've used as a strategy for your artists that you managed?
I have, almost everybody does, but there's also a difference, right? So there's bot streams, which are just fake streams, which are terrible, and then there's playlist streams, which are much better and much more effective. So like a company will own 100 playlists. You might have an Uzi Vert playlist. You might have a punk rock playlist, a dance playlist, a Drake playlist. This company curates playlists.
Okay.
And there's hundreds of thousands of followers within these playlists. So you pay that company to put you on their 100 playlists. So then the streams coming in are real, but they're playlist streams, which are less effective than like you going to listen to a record.
Right.
You know, like if you put on Most Necessary, there's 10 records in there that are going to get a stream whether you like it or not.
Right.
Because they're just
In
within,
the
you know what I'm
They
saying?
got paid
So playlisting streams are much better than bot
because they're
streams.
real people,
Right.
I mean,
You're
but
kind
have
of
you
you're forcing those people to listen to it.
have you purchased botted streams?
I have.
So now what do you feel like this is kind of like the standard now for artists and people within the music industry to have botted, have their content botted?
I'll take. Why do you?
And
Why the consumer? That's why. Let me ask you a question to both of you. If I follow you tomorrow, right? You don't know me, and I follow you. You click on my page, and you see 340 followers, and then if I follow you and you click on my page, and I have 35,000 with a blue check,
way more tempting.
Right.
You're gonna get the follow back. Yeah,
Right.
one. Yeah.
So like that's the name of it. But I'm not okay. So like, I don't think using bot streams gets you necessarily anywhere. I think that
It just gives you an image.
it just puts you in a space to be able to make other things happen. It's the same thing. So like, if you're getting a low base of bot streams that are like non-detectable to Spotify, like it's a good company, say you're getting 100 a day, that algorithm, if you continue to drop music, is going to help you end up in a Spotify playlist or get put on somebody else's page. So like, there's a means to an end, and they should be used accordingly.
I mean, so I guess
It's
it kind
not
of does
something
go
you should
along with
always-
what he said.
always
No.
doing.
It is not something you should always be doing.
So-
But like, if you drop a song and you're like, yo, I think this is the song, and it's getting a couple thousand streams, there's no harm in botting out a couple of thousand streams to just continue the wealth of the record. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like,
So that's how you've used it.
that's how I would use it.
All
yeah.
right.
So I guess it's like Ease was saying, it may not have a direct impact in getting you in his playlist, but it also have like an indirect.
It does have
An
it has an
indirect.
indirect. And it's, listen, anytime someone sends me an artist, the first thing I do is go to Spotify, dude. And I look, and if he got 1,000 monthlies or 800 monthlies, I don't even pay attention.
It's not worth your time.
Even if the quality of music is good.
I mean, I may become a fan, but it doesn't necessarily make me believe in working with them,
Okay.
right?
So just to backtrack a little bit. So you do believe in buying streams to help a record that's already got some movement,
yes,
but not bot streams.
No.
Playlist streams.
definitely playlist streams.
But even though you've bought bot streams before,
Yeah.
but you like, is that something like you learned your lesson from?
Yeah,
You're
and I also, you know, like, again too, when you hear about like the majors doing it,
Yeah.
so you have someone like Drake who is doing let's just say 1 million streams in a day. If I don't know, Lil Baby is doing 1 million too, Universal will pay for a couple 100,000 bot streams to jump over Lil Baby,
Yeah.
right? So like, they're not botting out Drake's music on that level. They're like using it to make sure it hits number 1 or it hits number 5.
You'll give them a little push. You're a little,
Right.
little,
It's not,
little
they're not,
fluff.
they're
in the right
not just
direction.
like,
Little
you know what I'm
fluff.
saying? But like, again, that's a consumer thing. Like, you take someone more serious when they walk in with a Rolex versus not. And you do it by accident. It's not even something, it's subconscious.
I mean, it's
What
just how
type of
it's
car
just
the
how
person
society
drives,
works, man.
all of that.
yeah,
you know?
all of that. You know,
Yeah.
it's even the way you commute things.
I'm convinced, yo.
You
From
hear,
this day forward, we're botting. We're botting this podcast, man.
But you know,
They
it's
changed
done.
everything.
You're also,
You're the confirmation we needed. Yo, 48 started it, you ended it. Yeah.
but you know, the other part is too, is like we spoke about, is like now you can buy ads that directly get you a stream. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
especially on YouTube. So like, we're in a space now where you can pay for something that will come back to you.
Right.
Okay.
For so many years in music, you paid for something and it was
hope.
nothing. It was
Right.
hopeful.
All right, man. Next question. Do you believe artists should stay independent longer now or still chase the label goals?
Oh, for me, that's artist dependent, because some artists make music that is extremely hard to make pop independently.
Okay.
But some artists make more independently sounding music, which makes it easier for them to gain fans.
Okay.
So I think it's specific. I think now too, if you look at LaRussell, like he stayed indie so long and built it so long that when he got this look with Rock Nation, it's a look that he approved.
Okay.
Like, he owns it all.
He can make a
still.
decision.
Yeah. I mean, as much as he's going to get help from Rock Nation, he retains his music.
Right.
He owns everything. So he's built that. So, the other part is, man, is You know how hard it is to fund independent? It's so
Everything.
hard. It's so hard. Like there's not many people that do it.
So with the artists that you're working with right now, are they signed? Do you
Chris
guys
Webby is 1,000. He's probably the most independent artist in the country.
Really?
Yes.
No publish. Like, how does
He
does
owns
that-
everything.
Okay.
He owns everything. He owns 100% of every dollar. He makes more money per dollar than any rapper in music. More than Drake, more than Tory, more than Fab. Not more money.
Yeah.
More money
Per dollar.
per dollar than any rapper in music.
Chris Webby from Connecticut.
Yeah. He makes more money than
How did-
75% of your favorite rappers.
So how did he manage that?
Building a fan base. Just like never gave a fuck about anything but fans. That's it.
Really?
Consumers.
Just loyalty. Like you just got loyalty.
Super
Real
loyal
fans
fan.
and ownership.
Yeah, but the ownership came over time. Like he didn't own shit until 2017.
Okay.
You know, he figured out how to own everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he just also amassed, I mean, he owns 500 records. He has more of a catalog than like 99% of artists.
So on the topic of deals and labels, what's something that every artist should know before they actually do sign a deal with the?
Gotta get a good lawyer.
Can they afford
That's
a
just
good
that
lawyer?
simple.
Lawyers will work for no money and they'll take points on the deal.
Okay.
And what
know
are
what I'm saying?
points for the people that don't know?
Well, it could mean a couple of things in
Okay.
lingo. Points on the deal could be a percentage of the deal,
Right.
or points on a deal could be a percentage of your music,
Right.
in retainership. You know,
Would
So,
you recommend that route, or would you say you'll just take out the loan and pay out the lawyer, and then pay the loan out, or something like that?
I would no. It doesn't. Even if you hire a lawyer and pay him $5,000 or $10,000, they're
Mhm.
still going to take 5% of your deal.
Oh, really?
Oh wow.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
For that's
That's the standard.
that's standard.
Okay.
So if someone said to me, like I got Snopra, her lawyer, when that whole deal happened, you know what I'm saying? And he worked for very low money, but he wanted to get a percentage of the deal.
Hmm.
You know, that's just kind of normally how it works. But really, you got to get a good lawyer. And also, I just don't think anymore you should take a deal unless
So
you're there yet.
one of my questions is, and it's funny you brought her up because there's been a lot of rumors about that situation, and I don't know how much you can speak on it. Right? One of my questions is, have you ever worked with an artist that fumbled the bag?
Fuck yeah, all the time.
And that's been said that's what happened to her, and no one really knows what happened with Snow. They said she got $1 million deal, fumbled it, fucked it up. Can you shed any light on any of these rumors?
I mean, she got a lot of money. It wasn't $1 million, but she got a lot of money. I wouldn't say it was. I would say there was some fumbling, but I wouldn't say it was really her. It was the people I think she chose to surround herself with.
like her day one crew kind of situation.
Yeah, some of them. I just think they just helped her make bad decisions.
In terms of where to put the money, or in
It
terms
wa-
of not putting on music?
Listen, Snow, on the money, like I don't know what she did with her money.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
like I know that she had a nice place and she got herself a car,
Yeah.
but I don't know what she did with her money.
Yeah.
But I just, in terms of like business and music, I think that the people around her didn't help her make the best decisions.
Okay.
You know, but like, here's a part too they don't really talk about is like she gets a deal based on this type of record, right? And she wasn't necessarily that type of artist. It was that type of record. So Def Jam wanted to hear that record over and over again.
Right.
And Snow was giving them different records. Like,
and they wasn't with it.
no. Whether they were good or not, it didn't really matter because they were expecting one thing and they felt like they got another. And Snow felt like she wanted to
Grow as an artist.
grow as an artist. You know what I'm saying?
So, did you play a role with Snooper?
No, me and my partner Pace had a couple of meetings with her, and we were in talks to maybe try and manage her, but that didn't work out. But then, so Shump is the homie, and Shump's management is like one of my homies. We go back 20 years.
Mhm.
So when the whole deal and everything happened, they were looking for a lawyer for the beat to clear the record from Busta with the deal with Def Jam. So I plugged them with a lawyer and I tried to.
So now you just kind of did it off the strength of a friendship. in a situation.
Yeah, like they were the homies, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And even with Snow, it didn't work out, but I wanted to see her win, you know? So like, I made a couple of listen, when her record started to pop, I got 4 or 5 phone calls from labels like, yo, what is this record, you know? So I think with Snow is a collective of things, but I think that's what most artists, I think like you hear the bad about major labels because there's a lot of fumbling happening, you know? Like,
I guess my question is when you, I guess you not to say you put blame, but you pointed in the direction of her circle, the people around her. Now, what on like where do the business aspect of it? Like, how come she wasn't getting any kind of guidance on that?
I mean, you gotta go out and get a business manager or, you know, or an account. Like an accountant's just gonna do your taxes and like make sure you're okay. But like a business manager is the only thing that's going to make your money grow, you know, like, and again, too, it comes down like, you know, who's your manager, who's your assistant, who's your best friend, you know, like it comes down to a lot. Your manager
doesn't play a role in that.
Yeah, they play a role in plugging you with the people you're supposed to be plugged with. Like your manager should never be able to control what your money is doing or where your money's going. Your manager should find you a business manager, an agent, a lawyer. Like your business manager's job is not to be involved in any of that.
Okay.
Like as a manager.
He's pretty much there to offer guidance.
Right. And to put you in the right position. You
but
know?
I would figure that like if the manager, I feel like it would be in the manager's best interest to ensure that the artist
it's a double dip.
Really?
Yeah, like the manager is supposed to find a business manager. But if I'm making money off you making money, I can't double dip. Like
that's what you're saying.
Right? Like
inside trading.
Like definitely. My money is tied to your money. So like I can't make you do things so that I can make money. As a manager, your job is to be selfless and do what's best for the artist no matter what money is tied to you. Right? So like, and also, listen, the music business is the most uneducated business in the world. And it's because you get signed and you take a homie and he takes a homie and he takes a homie. And then one of the homies grabs another homie and another homie. There's no school for this shit. You don't graduate and become a manager. It's a bunch of people that have never seen
you're learning
that
on the
shit.
way.
Yeah, it's the only way to learn, which is why I've learned because it's been so long.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is Snow's people around her that are her same age that have never seen that type of money? Like, what do they really know about money?
That's true.
You know,
which
like,
is why I figured that. Like, you know, I would think that it would be like, I guess her music manager kind of pointing her in the right direction, not so much saying, hey, this is what you do with your money, but setting her up so that way she doesn't.
But so here's how a deal works too. It's not like, so even just say it was $1 million.
Yeah.
She don't just get $1 million. She gets like 100 to 200,000, maybe 300,000 up front. There's your check, right? And 5%'s going to your lawyer, 30%'s going to taxes, 5%'s going to your manager, or 10%. Like, so just say it was 300,000. Which is probably somewhere around where it was, she probably gets 150.
Okay.
Right? Like that's not that much money. You go buy a $40,000 or $50,000 car because you've never had a new car before. You go out and get a crib. The money's kind of gone.
Damn.
Right? So then you have this $600,000, $700,000 at the label. That money is spent on you. So you want a video shot. Cool. 10 bands. You want this shot. Cool. Boom, boom, boom. She owes all that money. So you need.
Can you file for bankruptcy for something like that?
No.
So you always owe.
Yeah. So it's for the life and it's for a universe, right?
Is there interest that builds in that?
Fuck yeah. So you need to.
Oh, this is like.
If you get $1 million deal.
Let's say the 360 deals are the worst.
No, I'm gonna get to that. I'll tell you that in a second too. But $1 million deal, you got to recoup 1.8 to recoup the $1 million.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying? So like
stay independent
for sure. But how do you stay independent without funding? You know, like it's
you trap.
You
got to do it.
I'm a believer in 360 deals.
Oh, really?
Why is that?
Bro, I hear so much negative things about this.
Because
I don't personally understand 360
but that's what I'm saying. They
Okay.
don't understand. All right. Do you want 100% of nothing, or do you want 70% of 10 million?
I'll take the 7.
Okay, that's what a 360 deal is. So like they're coming in and saying, okay, I'm going.
Because all right, so a 360 deal to me, from my understanding,
they take money
like,
from everything.
for everything you do, right?
Yes.
So even if I go and start streaming or whatever, anything
Everything.
with my
Likeness.
persona,
Yep.
the company take some percentage of.
Yes. Which is normally like, it depends on the artist and depends on the budget.
Is there a thing like is a 180 deal where like you guys can only take percentage off the music?
Yep.
But everything
not
else?
touring, not merch. Yes, there is.
Oh, that's a real thing.
But
Okay.
but again, too, the more a company is invested in you, the more likely you are to win.
Because they want to see you win.
And because it's
you
a
winning
larger
helps them
investment.
win.
You know, it's a larger investment.
But I feel like if they're more invested in you, then they also have more control over the things that you do as well.
For
And you
sure,
lose,
but
like,
they're
your identity.
they're also guaranteeing you so much money.
I mean, but going back to the original conversation that we had in the beginning, it's like not all money is good money, and it's like
You're
if you're
right.
losing yourself in the process.
But
then
how
it's
many what percent of rappers do you think get signed come from absolutely nothing?
like 95,
Yeah. High
98%.
percentage.
So I want you to take yourself and put yourself, and I mean coming from nothing, like not this, I mean way less than this.
Yeah.
And someone offers you $2 million and the cover of the BET Awards.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But what is that? But what does that entail? Because it's like also
It
goes
doesn't
down to
fucking
they're not
matter
asking-
at
does-
that
it
They're
point.
not
does-
asking questions.
I mean, because I think that's the problem where like people say yes initially because I come from nothing, but then later down you're kind of made at a crossroad in terms of
For sure,
morality
for
and,
sure.
and identity.
Well, I mean,
and
yeah,
you're-
it seems like
you have
that.
to-
That is like the blueprint for it. Like, all right, rapper pops off, signs, what doesn't even look, just
right.
turns signs, and then kind of like finally like the clouds go away. And he's like, wait, what the fuck did I
That's
sign?
So-
fine.
And
You
then
got-
like that's when they
now
start
you're
getting
wearing
mad.
dresses on covers of
Yeah.
magazines.
No, but
and you're
that's again too far and few between. When you look at the amount of rappers who wore dresses on, you're talking half a dozen.
Yeah.
You know, and they're doing it because they want to, not because they're getting forced to.
Okay.
They see the dollar signs coming, which makes them alter how they move. But like, all right, so I used to manage this kid. He was signed to Interscope. He got like $1 million deal. He was like 1.2 in the hole. He got a hot record, right? But we knew he was never going to get out of debt. So we went to them and we offered him a 360 deal. My dude, they took the deal, the 360 deal, which lessened his 1.2 debt, came down to like 500,000,
Which is more okay.
more reasonable.
Got a chance.
But then within 60 days, he had like a $250,000 sponsorship deal with Monster. He had a $100,000 deal with Ethica. Like he got put on Tory Lane's tour. Like that's what they do. So it's
so that changes life.
while
around,
it's
like,
working, everybody loves it. It's never a problem until it's a problem, right? Until
when
like
is it? I guess when does it become a problem? Is that when like artists don't want to make music anymore, or
there's
like,
so many. Listen, what major again too? When you hear bad things about them, they're a corporate entity. So like, if the label's like, all right, cool, you got 500,000 to record this album. This album got to be turned in by May 31st. My man, you turn it in June 5th. You have to push that back now 6 months.
Yeah.
They can't just be like, oh, all right, cool. They made $1 million of the product with a drop date.
and you fucked it.
You fucked it.
Yeah.
So you, as an investor, could you imagine if you put up $1 million for someone to go build a house and they told you 3 months and then 6 months later you still have no house finished?
Yeah, that'll be a problem.
Right?
Yeah.
So like,
I'm suing.
so, I say that to say when you sign into those systems, the biggest misconception is that you don't have to follow the shit to a T. Like, your drops are your drops, your dates are your dates. When they spend money on a video, you can't miss the shoot. You can't miss a flight. Like, you can't be, again, too, like, there's artists, Mocha Fair, when we did this deal with Orchard, we start flying all over the country, flying to Sacramento, flying to LA, BET Awards. We were going to Grammys. All of a sudden, we look at our expense report and we were like, oh, fuck. Like we spent $200,000 flying around the country. Shit. But like, it's all stuff that's helping you. But in the same sense, you're not seeing a return from it, but you owe that money. Right? So like, you want to bring the homies and go do a show. You want a car service from the airport. You want new fly clothes. That all comes at a cost. And people would think that a label pays less money because they're a major. No, bro,
They're probably upcharging that shit so they
What?
can pass it on to
Yeah.
you.
Well, not the label necessarily always isn't, but like if you shot videos, right, and you charge me $3,000 and I signed a Def Jam and then I come get you, you're gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna invoice Def Jam 10 racks.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was the same. Chris Webby, the deal we did with E1, they're paying $15,000 to a dude. We were paying $1,000 a video all the way up into the deal. And then the kid, we start shooting videos, and bro, he's sending a label budget like invoices for 15 racks of video.
We were the label's paying this shit.
Yeah. So then we figured out a way to invoice ourselves and pay our own video guys.
Oh, is that legal?
No.
Okay. All right. That sounds about right.
You know, but yeah,
You gotta work the system, right?
It's this, man, if you go work at the Hartford tomorrow, you got to keep your hair up. You got to cover your tattoos. You got to be on time. You got to be cordial. You can't have an attitude. You have to do X, Y, and Z to keep your position at a corporate entity. It doesn't matter what walk of life. Like you can't go in tomorrow and be like, oh, I'm 30 minutes late. Sorry, guys. You can't go in wearing jeans and sneakers. You can't go in with neck.
So would you recommend
a lot of that artists don't treat it like a job?
No,
like once they make it, they're like, yo, y'all need me more than I need you, and that's not really the case.
And I also just not being educated on how it works, bro. These contracts are no joke.
And how long do the contracts you typically run for?
God, forever.
What's forever?
Until it's paid back.
There's no term limit on it. It's like that's just the money whenever you pay it back.
Yeah. There's usually a music term, a 5-album deal, a 10-album deal, a 7-album deal. But you owe money until infinitely you don't owe any money. And the longer you stay on the label, the more costs you occur.
Yo, would it be beneficial to get signed once you pay them back, go independent? Because at that point, you already have your core base and you can make money.
It's the best way to do it.
That's the best. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, if you look at most of the successful independent artists now, the Fat Joes and all these, they had millions of dollars dumped into them and then decided, you know.
All right. I got what I need.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I think independence is the way. I just think it's hard to fund independent. You know, like even with streaming, like you hear people don't make any money. If you're independent and you stream a ton, you will make more money than you've ever made in your lifetime. Streaming has made more millionaires since 2017 than the entire music industry combined over the last 60 years across all genres.
Jeez.
It's not even close.
And they still complain about streaming.
Bro, I need you can go look it up. In the year 2000, roughly 400 artists in America were making $1 million+ a year. Spotify this year paid 2,800 artists over $1 million.
Damn.
Just this year.
It's funny because I remember I saw a video of, I want to say, I can't remember who it was, but they were pretty much, it was an older artist, and it was like, I don't understand how these new artists are so rich. Like, how are they?
It's streaming, but these older artists don't own the music. When you only own 20% of 0.000006, it's no money. But like you take someone like Chris Webby or like Hopsin or like Tech Nine, where they own 100% of the master, right? There's no in betweens. You hear artists all the time say that you make $1,000 per million streams or 3,000. There's artists that make upwards of $13,000 per million streams. So I'm going to tell you.
So the ones that make 1,000, they're because they're breaking off the other money to other.
They don't own
entities.
the content.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? But there's also, people don't realize with Spotify, there's 5 ways to get paid, right? You get paid by 5 ways. One is the master, which is the highest paying part of it, right? The second is how much publishing of the record you own, okay? And then the third is what type of streamer is streaming you. So the person who streams for free pays you a different stream rate than the person who pays for the highest tier.
Oh.
So the $19.99 tier pays out one rate, the $12.99 tier pays out another, the $9.99 pays out another, and the free pays out another.
Okay.
So the type of streamers.
What's the other type of 2 payments?
So the fourth way is your distribution rate with a DSP. So if you have like an 80-20 distro, they get 20% on the distribution, right? If you own 100% of the distro, you get 100%. So say like through TuneCore, like DistroKid, you own 100%. But not only the distribution rate, but what your distribution rate or what your distribution company has for a rate with the DSP.
Okay.
So like TuneCore, their rate with Spotify and Apple and YouTube is different than Universal's. They don't all get paid the same.
Right.
So it's
So that's like a lot of these
so
deals
it's
seem
the-
negotiated. Like they
are.
Okay.
so it's the rate of your distribution, the rate of your distribution rate's distributor's rate, how much of the master you own, how much of the pub you own, and what type of streamer is listening to you.
Bro, this shit's like so confusing.
So
And
super
you're like,
fans-
and you're like
is
explaining
why you
this
need a manager.
well.
So, but like when you're, so
I can see why these people get fucked.
say
Yeah.
someone like Chris Webby, like he does 100 million streams a year, right? And he makes upwards of the number we just spoke about per million
Oh, my man's killing it.
because he owns everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're Meek Mill and you have an 18% royalty with Atlantic, now
Things are rough.
they're bad for you. Not only is his royalty rate 18%, but the beat's probably done by like a Scott Storch who owns a big part of the publishing, who owns a part of the master. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Meek Mill. I'm just using his name. He has his deal rate with the label, right? But the record still has 18% of what he owns of that record. So let's just say it's Meek Mill featuring Rick Ross, produced by Scott Storch. Scott Storch probably owns 20 to 30% on the master. Rick Ross probably owns 10% on the master. And then say Meek owns 40 or 50%. Now, his royalty is 18% of the 40 or 50%.
Oh, jeez. It's
It's
like
not of the
it
dollar.
just keeps getting
Right.
cut. It just keeps getting cut.
Right. So like that's why artists in major deals, you heard that thing with Snoop, like I made $40,000 for 40 billion streams. Yeah, because you sold your masters and you sold your publishing. Your catalog was
So wait,
gone.
what do you? I think I forgot which artist. Some artist just sold his masters for like, 60 million. What do you think about deals like that? Like, you think it's
T-Pain,
still
I
dumb?
think is doing it.
or-
Yeah, no, you should do it.
You should do it.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I think like
When the check's that big.
How long? So we just got an offer for our masters for
Who?
Webs,
Oh, like a company's trying to buy Chris Webby's
Yeah.
masters.
and they offered him a bag, like a bag.
I
It
mean,
would- but it would
he's already
take him-
making a bag from what you kind of implied. So,
right,
yeah.
but it would take him 40 years to make this bag.
Oh, so this is
30 years to make this bag. This is a bag.
So he's tempted.
No, he's not. He
Jeez.
wants nothing to do with it. He fucking wouldn't even bat an eye. Webb
Re-
Webb is the realest, most independent fucking person on earth. It's not even, but he wouldn't even bat an eye. But like it's
It's something in the Connecticut water. though.
T-Pain, it would take him 25 or 30 years to make that money back. And now family to kids, yes, over the life of it. But like, what if T-Pain doesn't live 10 more years? What if
So I got one more question as far as this before we wrap this segment up. So, all right, say you sell like T-Pain, right? Or even Chris Webby. So say Chris Webby did agree to this deal, sold his masters. But that's from all the music from the day prior, right?
everything
Is
moving
anything
forward?
moving forward, you
His.
still have, now it's still yours again.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I say for someone like a T-Pain who probably is not going to put out no more music, it makes the most sense. Like
Okay.
any of these artists that are like kind of at the back end of their careers,
Yeah.
but like someone like Webb who puts out 20 or 30 songs a year, it's like, yo, you could get this bag now and you could put out 20 or 30 more songs a year for the next 5 years and own another 150 records. Like, that's crazy.
We'd love to have him on, have this conversation. But from what you know from him, like, what's his reservation against it? Just like,
Bro, that dude hates everything about the man.
I got
Bro, he doesn't even want us, when we're on tour, he don't even want us eating at chain restaurants. He hates it. He wants to feed local economy. Yo, he could walk into a store and there'll be like a Rolex watch and a Ninja Turtle watch. And he'd be like, oh, fuck yeah, man, give me a Ninja Turtle watch. He wouldn't even think twice about investment, what it could be worth.
okay.
He equates money to like having to operate his business, but like money has no monetary value to him. Like he'll go into a store and he'll buy a $5,000 t-shirt, not because he's
It's fine.
rich, but because he looked at a t-shirt and was like, yo, I love this. He doesn't even look at the price tag.
Okay. This guy's enlightened.
No, he just doesn't. He's like the most genuine,
This
good
is a
human
way how
being
people are supposed to be.
I've ever
you know?
met in my life.
Nice, man.
Even in terms of like, he employs 15 or so people from Connecticut. Like, he makes sure everybody gets bonuses, everybody gets fed well, everybody gets pay hikes. Like, he is
This guy's like the perfect boss.
no, he really is. He's a hard-headed, stubborn fuck, which makes it very difficult for us to do our jobs because over the course of time, dude, we've lost millions. He sat in a meeting with Blueprint Management, which is, I tell this story all the time. Like, are you familiar with them?
No.
It's like Cortez Bryant, Jimmy Iovine, Alan Walsh. These are guys who like worked on Ready to Die and Blueprint, and like Cortez Bryant is Wayne, Nicki, Drake's manager. Like, they're the biggest manager. At this time they had Drake, Wayne, T.I., Rihanna, Kanye, everybody. We had a meeting with them at South by Southwest. Webb's in the meeting, and Webb's just like, these hit records are like hit records. Like, and the dude, one of the dudes, Alan Walsh, was like, well, do you listen to the radio? And he was like, no. And he was like, well, who do you listen to? And he was like, Exhibit, DMX, Tech Nine. You know? And they were like, well, you don't listen to hit records. So like, how do you know what a hit record is?
Right.
You know, my version of a hit record is different than your version of a hit record. We're in the middle of this meeting. They're trying to offer him a deal. They're trying to sign a white rapper. Pause real quick, but they ended up signing G-Eazy like a day later.
Oh,
really?
And put G-Eazy out in Tour Wayne. And they managed G-Eazy, and
he took the deal.
he took the deal. But you know what? We're in the middle of the meeting, and Omar from The Wire walks in the hotel. Webb was like, excuse me, guys. Yo, ran up on Omar, fanboying. He's a huge TV fan. I don't know if you know a lot about Webb, but Webb is like a TV cartoon video game guy. He's taking selfies with Omar. So left me and my partner at the table.
Because he could care less about
I
it.
don't give a fuck. Then he comes back. Oh, sorry, guys. Comes back. We're in the middle of a conversation. And then Snoop from The Wire walked in. Left the meeting again. Just left mid-conversation.
Really? They showing the episode of The Wire there?
It was South by Southwest. So there was a lot
you.
of celebrities staying at the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, there's been so many times with countless companies where he's just been like, nah, I don't want the money. Like, nah. But you want to, Red Bull wants to give me $250,000. What? To like give out Red Bull? Like, I don't even fucking drink Red Bull. Just doesn't care. Doesn't care. So he's a different.
I think that trickles down to why the fans rock with him so much, because they feel it.
It's the it's his
The
gift and his curse.
authenticity,
He's as big as he is because he's that way, but he's as big as he is because
You know, it's
he's
funny.
that way.
You're kind of answering a question that I think a lot of Connecticut people have, where it's like they thought he was gonna be so much bigger than he was, like mainstream wise. But it doesn't seem like that was ever his
But I'd say when
want.
he hit his stride was when he realized that wasn't it. So like the first 7 years of his career, me and my ex-partner Dana, we were like trying to make him, I don't know, the next M or the next Macklemore.
Yeah.
And he woke up one day, it was just like, you know what, dude? Like, I kind of want to be Tech Nine. I don't think I want to be Eminem. And we were like, oh, so this is why it hasn't happened. Like, he was like, I want to be the sixth man. I want to be like J.R. Smith. I don't want to be LeBron James. Like, I want to make like money, and I want to still be able to go to the mall. And like, you know,
that's
like,
a lot
life,
of self-awareness, man, because you see a lot of these bigger artists speak up with the issues of being like that big, and he probably just recognized that early. He's like, yo, that seems like a miserable life.
Miserable.
I don't want that.
But
I want to be able to walk around,
have a normal
myself
girlfriend,
and not,
and like, you know, he's still, don't get me wrong, he goes to the mall and people want to take pictures, but it's not like pandemonium. You know what I'm saying? So I think that even too with the new age, I think the goalpost needs to be moved. I think like get major label out of your head and get to like, damn, can I make a couple $100,000 a year off my music and like feed my family and not have a job and like. And
but it's ego. You know, everybody wants to be the big guy.
But that's so obtainable, bro. Like, I don't think you understand how obtainable it is to make $100,000 off your music a year. Like, it's
there.
It's so easy in terms of what it used to be.
Okay.
Like, there was, again, in 2000, there was 400 artists that made $1 million.
Right.
There's like 5,000 now. That's a ton.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's $1 million. Like, I'm just saying, like, $100,000. That's only if you own everything. It's 6 to 7 million streams.
In today's world, that seems very possible.
It's like not that hard.
Okay.
You know, like if you're doing what you're doing to get to that point, you have to stop with the like label mindset and be on TV and be on radio.
Yeah.
Like the one thing that most independent artists realize is that they have fans. And like, let me just feed my fans.
Yeah.
Let me get 5,000 fans will feed you for the next 10 years of your life.
Yeah, that's what they say.
It's not that much. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think the goalpost needs to be moved on like the definition of success. You guys seen that thing going around where like there's no professional Connecticut rappers.
Right.
From what was one of the old school dudes who's got a big podcast that it like went super viral.
I didn't see that one.
But like there's so many artists in Connecticut. I mean, there's like a half a dozen rappers in Connecticut making $1 million+ a year just off their music.
Damn. I mean, we'll get into that. That wraps this segment up.
All right, so let's talk the Connecticut music scene.
Here we go.
All right, so my first question to you is, who are some CT artists that we should be paying attention to right now?
God, there's so many. Anoyd, Charli, Webby, Ty Henny. This kid Mischievous is really dope.
I never heard of him. Where's he from?
Hartford Poe is dope. He's from like New London.
Okay.
I heard about Hartford Poe today.
He's dope. Suave Ski is really dope.
Now, what set these artists apart from?
You like? What do you
anyone
see in them?
The
Obviously,
willingness to learn, really.
Okay.
Like, you know, let's just say there's 1,000 artists in Connecticut, right? I've had these conversations and teaching moments, just say with 1,000 of them, and probably 20 have used what I've told them and applied it to themselves.
Right.
So for me, applying themselves or the willingness to learn or the willingness to like figure out how to do it correctly sets them apart.
Is that what you think the difference is between the artists that pop and the ones that don't?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could have like you could have good music as an artist and still not pop.
It's the same way
based off your inability to learn.
Yeah, I also think you could be a better basketball player than LeBron James coming out of high school, and you just don't do right in college, or you hire the wrong business manager, or you still want to hang out with the homies, or there's more talented people in different fields than you, but the other part is what separates you. Like the music, unfortunately, the music is first in terms of what they gravitate to, but it's last in terms of your success.
Interesting.
Now, I guess it brings me to my next question. Do you feel like Connecticut holds any standard in that? Like, do you feel like Connecticut lacks resources compared to other major cities?
I mean, major cities, yeah, but we're not a fucking major city. There's nothing major about Connecticut. We're like a 55th market, dude. And our market is considered the state. It's not even like San Diego is the 18th ranked market inside of a state with 5 other top 20 markets. Like our market is the state. When I used to work for major labels, when I first started doing promo, you handled Kingsley was one rep, and he handled everything basically from like New Haven down to Stamford. And then they put me from like New Haven to Springfield. They consider Springfield a part of Hartford's market. That's in almost every base. Springfield is Hartford.
Okay.
I can see that. I can see how that.
It's 30 minutes away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So even though it's mass, it's kind of like not. So like, we're just not a big market.
I mean, so what are some of the things that you think Connecticut would lack, that lacks?
Yeah, I think just the education of it all. But I think
in terms of like resources, more so.
Yeah, but there's resources here. There is resources here, and there is resources in New York. My argument for that type of stuff with Connecticut is like, again, you need to take out New York, and you need to take out Miami, and you need to take out Atlanta, and you need to take out LA.
They're not just
Houston.
anomalies.
Those are the 6 where everything comes from.
Okay.
Outside of that, there's no resources in Virginia. There's no resources in Rhode Island. There's no resources in Boston.
Bro, forget the Midwest. Just like wipe them out.
But even think about this. Boston, number 4 market in the country. You want to know their most famous rapper?
Who?
Marky Mark.
That's it. That's a crazy way to look at that, yo.
Right.
Who? Name one.
You're right.
Bia.
Boston Richie's up right now.
I guess, but my point being, that's the number 4 market in the country.
Damn, that's a good point. I never looked at it like that. You would think like they would be producing
Phoenix, top 20 market. Name a rapper, a mainstream successful rapper. Hot Rod signed to G Unit, was their biggest artist.
And like, how long ago was that?
2005. San Diego, name a rapper.
I can't name off the bat, but I feel like there's something out of San Diego, man.
There's really not.
Really?
Orlando, besides Flick of the Wrist, name a rapper out of Orlando.
Jeez.
Oklahoma City, Milwaukee, name one. Milwaukee's a big market, name one.
And where the fuck these people coming from then? Yo? They're not coming from the big states or the big
They're,
places.
they come from
Detroit,
the top sixes,
right, no,
and
New
then
York.
like then it just kind of sprinkles in. You know what I'm saying? Like it. What people realize they fail to realize is this shit is just hard, dog. Like I want you to take the podcast space.
Yeah,
You got the best podcast in the world. Doesn't fucking matter. How many podcasts are there right now?
Countless.
It's hard. This shit is not easy.
Tell us about it, man.
That's what I'm saying is people forget to just take out. It's like, yo, there's 2 million artists per year submit demos to major labels. You know how many they sign? Roughly 17 a year out of 2 million. There is currently 7,000 artists across all genres on every major label. 7,000 artists.
It's like nothing.
total.
Bro, there's like 20 million rappers. This shit is hard. Like it's just hard. It's how many.
Yo, give it up. just say,
But like,
find a new route.
think about
Give
all
it
the
up.
new athletes.
Yeah. Now I get
Right?
it. Like how many actually make it to
from
them?
Connecticut have made it? Half a
couple.
dozen.
Yeah, a couple.
Actually, I'll say Connecticut does have a good.
They do, but like
surprisingly good amount of
but
pro
like,
athletes. I'll say that.
from not just like someone who played at UConn.
No, I'm talking
from
about
Connecticut.
Pro, yeah, like
How Gomes and like Camby, maybe I think he was from Hartford. Marcus Camby.
They even got the guy from New Haven right now. The kid that from New Haven that just.
But that
I think Andre Drummond.
this three.
I think he's from Middletown, right?
No, Andre Drummond's from New York. He moved with, you know, the rapper out of Middletown. He's related to Drummond. He moved with a family friend to Middletown.
We have a couple NFL players from Waterbury. I mean, I see your point. I see your point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like as many, dude. Waterbury is like goated and cemented in like street ball could have been NBA players. Yo, there's some incredible ones.
Yeah, we have some names in order.
And there's really only one, right? So like the shit is just difficult. This is not a Connecticut thing. It irks me. You see me comment. It irks my soul when people are like, "Oh, it's a Connecticut crabs in a butt." Yo, I've been to 49 states and 70 countries. Okay, I've toured the world. I deal with artists everywhere. Do you know when this tour comes up with Chris Webby, I'm gonna go to Boise and I'm gonna hear from 10 rappers that they're the best rapper. You know, I'm gonna hear from 10 rappers say that the other 10 rappers are no good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna hear from 10 rappers that want to get a feature in Boise, Idaho. Like this shit is not different. There's people paying for slots in Portland, in South Dakota, in West Virginia. They're paying for.
So essentially everyone outside of the major big six cities feel the same way that like, yo, there's no local support.
You go talk to anybody, bro. Tampa, Joey Franchise is my homie. He's from Connecticut.
Yeah, I remember
He was on Hot 93. He's in Tampa. Yo, do you know that the program director like doesn't even really allow them to DJ in clubs anymore?
Really?
The DJs can't play in clubs?
They don't want them to.
Why?
Because the pressure from the street to play music on the radio
they're just getting pressed.
is bad.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it is, and the artists in Tampa feel the same way, and the artists in Orlando feel the same way.
Those are big
like,
cities.
They're big cities. This shit is no different. It's magnified here for sure because we're smaller. But
I think that I do agree with Connecticut has like a crab in a barrel mentality, and I feel like the problem is it's not only an industry issue. I think it's an artist issue as well, where artists tend to see themselves higher than where they actually are, and they don't want to collab. They don't want to work with other artists. They don't want to work with other platforms. They don't want to like mesh too well. And I feel like that's one thing that I can say. Like I know you said that these other cities are like anomalies, but you do see the push from these other cities to support their artists. Whereas I feel like within Connecticut, you just don't see that. Like
What
we're so focused on pushing external cities artists or whatever is hot or whatever, but it's like an artist would be more willing to work with an artist from New York or from an Atlanta or even from maybe an Ohio if they got a little buzz compared to a Connecticut artist.
I mean, Connecticut artists do a lot of records together over the year. I mean, this is going back for a long time. There's been tons of artists that do tons of records with each other. I think, like, again, too, in Atlanta, I know in Atlanta or Miami or Chicago, the people that are helping are already in a position of power, right? How is someone here going to help another person get to the same place they're trying to go if they're not there yet? Like, it's even the thing, like an artist, like the Baby comes out, he got 5 rappers that are his homies. The Baby can't put his homies on yet because he's not on yet. Like, it took the Baby 3 years to bring out his first artist that was like with him
the whole time
from the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want a DJ here to make a call for you, when the DJ here is still trying to get to Flex's level,
it's just okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want, and again, and here's the other part too. Again, those 6 places are like, they're music meccas, and it's a condensed population of people. All the support in the world from artist to artist doesn't make a fucking difference. Why would it? All right, when the labels come looking for you, they're looking at your IG, your YouTube, your radio. They're not being like, yo, does he support the other do the other rappers support him? They don't give a fuck. When you walk in, if you wanted to walk in today to go get a job at Apple, you know what Apple's looking at? Your resume.
Yeah.
How much experience you have. What can you bring to the table? They don't give a fuck if 18 people in your hometown think you're the best programmer.
No, but I think 2 things can be true. And I think that
Labels
they don't
care
care about that, but I feel like also somebody within the company can get you the job as well. And I'm saying that to say that even as an artist, yeah, it may not have a direct impact to say, okay, this person has the support of 10 other artists. But I think one thing that kind of like what we do, you know, we try to network with people and we try to collab with people so that way we can stretch our fan base a little bit. And I feel like that's one thing Connecticut artists don't do. They don't. It's like,
Ty Henny and Show got a whole album out together right now.
What? And I guess to me, to double on his point, I was actually very surprised at the negativity that's come with this album. Like, from what I've seen, as far like the amount of artists hating on the album, because I think that was surprising.
It's a bunch of people trying to get to the same place.
But it's like, rather than seeing us as putting on for the city, which is one of the things that I said that it's different from Connecticut comparatively to these meccas.
To Ty his point, I bet every fucking city feels like
they
got
all
the biggest
feel
haters.
that way.
But I feel like their city feel as though, I mean, I feel like they feel as though they may have some haters, but I feel like you do see them coming together as a city.
Yeah, but
are
you talking about outside of the 6 major cities?
Where?
I mean, but that's the only thing that we can compare them to.
But those are your anomalies.
The people
you can't really compare like the 98% of like America to these 6 spots. You know
I mean, but what made those 6 spots the 6 spots?
The amount of people.
Not only that, but I think also the support as well. How does an Ohio become that?
But that's the people.
Do you think if like 3 million people just moved to Connecticut today, it'd be different?
Yes.
You think the support would be better?
Yes.
Really?
More people. I need you to. I did this the other day. I've done this before in a podcast, but I need you to break down the demographics of Connecticut, just in terms of people, right? So there's 3.5 million people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 55% of them are under 10 or over 50. Okay.
Okay.
So 350 is immediately 150.
Right.
1.5. Right. So there's 1.5 million people that could consume your music. Now, how many of them listen to hip hop? Half. Bring it down to half, if it's half. So let's just say 750,000. Of those 750, what genre of music do you like of hip hop? Cut that in half. That 750 is now 3.25 or 350, 375.
You might have 6 people left, yeah.
Right? now you're down to 350, whatever it is. what percentage of those people actually consume music? Cut in half. And radio listeners they don't consume music. They consume commercialism.
Okay.
Right? My mom listens to the radio every day. She don't consume music.
Right.
Radio is 15 to 38 white. That's the consumer base. Okay. So now that 350, 375 is 150, right? So now break that down to the people you're going to go sit in front of or that are actually going to hear your product. That's actually, the ROI is about 4% of the base. So if there's 150,000 people that would maybe listen to your music, 4% of that is the height of support you could think you could turn into fans.
Dude, that's like legitimately like 1,500 people.
It's like 4,000 people.
Like it's crazy.
Like you have to.
But if you get those 4,000 people, it's up.
It's up.
It's up.
But like most rappers, all right, Charli D'Amelio, that girl, that's a TikTok girl. Yeah. She grew up same town as Webb. Do you think that people in Connecticut made her pop off?
No.
Do you think people in Connecticut made Mook and Fair pop off?
I think they had a major
because the radio did because the radio.
No, but here's, I think they were different because they were doing a lot of foot traffic.
We were, but
I feel like that helped. You don't think that helped a lot?
A little bit, but the labels called because of the radio.
Okay.
They didn't call because they seen our street teams and our vans out. Don't get me wrong, them kids sell 20,000 units out of vans, right?
That's nuts.
That's how they funded radio, right? The labels weren't like, yo, we heard there's a group out there with vans going hand in hand. They called us when we were getting 50 spins a week.
Okay.
They didn't call until they seen our radio numbers. They didn't call Anoyd until they seen his radio numbers. They're not looking, don't get me wrong, a CEO or an A&R in Atlanta is paying attention to what the clubs are, right? But like the guy behind the desk in New York is not asking what record's getting played in the clubs. He's not asking who's getting support locally. He's looking at Explore and Shazam and Mediabase and Spotify and Apple, and then he's making his assumptions based on that.
You don't think you get it to that point where people are Shazamming it by getting local support initially?
Bro, Shazams come from consumers, not the homies.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a direct question. Do you feel as though support helps or hurts?
Support can only help.
So
right?
I think then it's better to do it than to not do it.
I agree, but it doesn't make a difference in terms of somebody popping off. Because the last thing, if someone pops off, it's because they got a hit record or a viral moment. It's not because you got support from 18 rappers. Like if you want to get support from the hood, get it from the hood. Who gives a fuck about the 30 rappers in the hood? They're not buying your music. They're not consuming your content.
But it's not so much. My point is it's not so much to get it from the rappers. My point is to gain your own fan base, because it's like I could work with you. Let's just say,
but everybody you hear talking is a rapper or a fan of another rapper. They're not. I want to know the last time you went out to the mall and you were like, "Yo, what do you think about Charli and Ty Henny?" Majority of people are gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?"
That was this week for me. But weird kick. I could be
but it's that you don't know until you know. Consumers don't care. Mook and Fair popped off because Who's Your Daddy was playing on 93 and Kiss 95.7, and the kids in Southbury, in Newtown, in Avon, in Farmington were playing Who's Your Daddy. The clubs weren't playing Who's Your Daddy. The hood wasn't playing Who's Your Daddy. Consumers were playing Who's Your Daddy. When Lucky came out with Anoyd, women played Lucky over, and it didn't matter it was Anoyd. It didn't matter he's from Hartford. No one even knew he was from Hartford. Bro, we showed up at New Britain High School talent show, which is it's a threshold in Connecticut. Big Reg hosts it. It's a big deal. Every poppin' artist goes through there. Bro, there was 2,200 kids screaming Lucky, and they had no idea Anoyd was from Connecticut. Mm-hmm. It was the biggest record on the radio.
Okay.
Consumers don't give a shit. Does it make you feel better to get it? Yes. But I'm just talking in terms of like when a label reaches out or there's a moment in music or virality, it's not because somebody local was supporting you.
So I guess that brings me to my next question then. What if, let's just say a new artist is coming out and they have no connections? What advice could you give them?
Be enough places to get them. Go enough places to get them. Reach out to enough people to find them. You know, like send as many messages as you can. Send as many emails as you can. Go to as many clubs as you can. Go to as many events as you can. Like, we're in a day and age where people are easier to find than ever. You know, like you could just type some shit in and find some shit. It's building bridges. And, you know, also, I don't know, make yourself useful. My whole career was built on being useful. Like, I got all my favors and got all these things done with no money, but by being useful.
I think that's a problem as well, is that people don't want to put themselves out there. They feel like they have to get something in return for putting themselves out there.
The first 7 years of my career, I don't think I made any profit on anything. I was losing money. I was taking $20 a day, taking a train to New York and sitting in New York for 10 hours a day. And then, like, you know, like, I wasn't making any money.
7 years it took you?
At least. Like, I was making money. Like, I'd get 100 here, 300 here, 400 here, but nothing where I could, like, sustain it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a long... Bro, Anoyd, I started with Anoyd in late 2016, early 2017. It's now, what, 2026? That's 9 years.
Yeah, just about.
The last 9 months has been bigger for him than his first 9 years.
Damn.
Like, Webby, from 2010 to 2017, he made $1 million a year and was still in debt, and nothing was working. And then all of a sudden, from 2017 to now, he now makes more than your rapper's favorite rapper. So it's like, it takes a minute. People also get caught up in, like, this, how fast it happens when they see it happen on social media. It's so far and few in between.
They say overnight celebrity is a lot longer than just overnight.
For sure. It takes a long time. So, you know, I think it just takes a minute.
All right, so what would you say is the biggest red flag in an artist? In an upcoming artist, I guess. If you identify if you could point it out and say, this is something that I could see in an artist that is like a big red flag, what would it be?
I don't know, not a willingness to just not educate themselves, or a willingness, you know, just not wanting to listen, or a know-it-all,
right,
or like super cocky, something like that.
Like just resistant to
resistant
guidance. Really
in general, because, you know, in terms of music, you just need help and you need to be able to adjust, you know.
Gotcha.
All right, so what's a unique thing about Connecticut's music scene that outsiders don't know?
It's such a mishmash of different types of music. You know, there's no particular sound here because there's no identity, right? So, like, I think there's, like, some Massachusetts influence and there's some New York influence, and then with the newer generation, there's a big Chicago influence and a big Detroit influence.
You think that's actually one of the problems, that we're so easily influenced by other artists that we don't quite have our own sound?
Yeah, but I also think that a lot of places don't have their own sound necessarily, and it still works when you have a record. You know, like, people just forget that you need a record and you need fans. You know, like, and without those,
they're just looking for, like, all these other reasons on why they're not famous. But at the end of the day, it's just like these simple things. It's like, yo, you just don't got that hit.
Sometimes too, you just don't have a hit. You know, you just don't have a record. There's usually a moment in every artist's career where it's like there's like this moment where they can make a choice. Like, you have to have the moment, and you have to be prepared for the moment. You know, like, Mook and Fair weren't prepared for the moment. Like, when Who's Your Daddy blew up, it happened so fast. Like, they were on pop radio, no one knew what they looked like, and then they're showing up places, and Mook got a $50,000 chain on that says Mook, and Fair looked like an underground rapper with baggy clothes. Mook got baggy clothes, but Who's Your Daddy is like a pop record. It just happened so fast. You know what I'm saying? Snowsa, it happened so fast. She went from just being like a young kid who no one even knew because there was a rapper that was kind of bigger than her in that space. She was a part of the crew, the kid who passed away. And then the record just took, and she wasn't ready. You know, just wasn't prepared. And I think most people aren't prepared. You know,
how would you prepare someone?
by getting all the internal stuff right. Like I spoke about before, like making sure that your like metadata is correct and your distribution is right, and you know your publishing is right, and like all those things should be
image.
So for a very long time I believed in image, but I've turned into a non-believer because there's so many people now that have zero image or look a little bummy or a little ashy or a little off or a little, you know, like dress weird and it works. You know, like I was for a long time.
J. Cole got more famous when he started dressing bummy.
Right.
So yeah.
I think for a long time when it was like publication based, you know, like XXL and Source and BET and MTV, it was definitely about an image. The thing is that it's still about an image, but it's about owning the image versus it being a specific image.
Right.
Like if you're like Webb has learned how to be a weirdo and own it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of artists for a long time were putting an image on that wasn't them.
It's more okay to be unique nowadays. You don't have to fit that one mold of all the rappers.
Because you also you're now in front of people that wouldn't have seen you before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like before it was like they only seen you if they seen the Source or BET. Like now it's just,
and also you're connecting with people, you know, because like if you look like me, if you're just as ashy as I am,
no, exactly, you know, exactly,
just as dusty as me. Then
I think it's important, but I think it's more important to own the image versus like it being something specific.
Okay. Last question. What's one trait that every successful artist has?
Oh, this one's got him stumped.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I know the answer.
Really?
I mean, there's a couple.
Okay.
I'd say one is they work extremely hard, like super tunnel vision.
Okay.
You know, like the way some dude at a company is just wailing off at a construction company, working 70 hours a week, just doing, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of tunnel vision. And I think the other is the person that realizes this is just like a 9-to-5 job. You know, like it's a lot of artists don't wake up in the morning and like, you know, like,
with purpose.
Right. Like your day is what your day is. You're going to go record and like no one's treating this like all right, I'm going to get up. Like I'll say when it changed for Anoyd, he started to get up at 6, 7 a.m., spend 3 hours on the internet, watching, scrolling, answering, commenting. Then he'd take from say 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, he'd make content. And then from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, he'd make phone calls and send emails. From 5, he started to treat this thing like a work day.
Structure on his
you know what I'm saying? The structure.
Like for us, we're not that big, but we have some type of buzz, right? So anytime we get someone up here that's like not as aware as us, we always try to put on game. And one thing that like I cannot comprehend is the amount of artists that don't have a TikTok, that don't have a YouTube. It's
wild.
That like, and we tell them like, bro, you posted something 6 months ago. Like, like what? People don't know you.
It's
not like people are like, oh, what's it like? That it's crazy.
And we're in a space where it's easier than ever. Like,
bro, you should be posting every single day. You should be doing something every single day towards your craft.
We've also remember too, even like 5 years ago or so, when it was like you post like don't post every day, don't post more than once a day, bro. There are people posting multiple 18, 20 times a day.
I mean, that's us, man. We post like 4 or 5 times
a
day.
And you see one might hit, one don't hit, 5 don't hit. Like, you know.
But here's the thing, like, and the reason we continue to do it, like we grow every single day. We don't grow rapidly. Like we usually get like 1 or 2 subs or like 5 followers a day. Oh,
but
like it's
one fan goes and digs through your catalog.
Yeah. That's that's why we go every day we're at it. Every day we're at it.
That's where even independently, in order for you to make money, you have to put out a ton of content. Like a ton of content. Your best promotion for your new record is your last record, and the best promotion for your next record is the next record. You know what I'm saying? So like you have to put out, especially now the way we consume content. We consume at such a rapid rate. Like you get an album and literally in 10 days it's old to you.
Literally.
Yeah. You know, so like it's content because that's the only way you can make money.
It's like gone are the days where like music sticks, you know. It's like just what's on to the next.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, man. This is our touring segment. So I'm going to ask you some questions in reference to touring because I think a lot of people don't know anything about it.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those things, if you don't do it, you really don't know much about it.
Okay. So first question is, how important is touring to an artist?
Extremely.
Like is it something that you have to do?
Yes. It's for me, it's the most important, especially independently. If you're going to be independent, like touring is everything.
Okay.
Yeah. It's how to build like a symbiotic relationship between fan and artist. You know what I'm saying? So, it's the truest way to like put yourself in front of someone and gain a fan. Also, like the return. Okay, so like if you hear a song, right? It's like a 1.5% return rate that they have an ability to get you to be a fan.
Okay.
Mhm.
If you just hear a song.
Okay.
If you're at a show, it's like 20%
Oh, it
odds that
jumps up crazy.
yeah, that you could become a fan of that artist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So touring is integral, and not just for the show money, but the VIP money and the meet and greet money and the merch money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll see like a spike in like social media numbers after tour
Absolutely.
from fans. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, even artists that we bring out with us, like opening acts,
Mm-hmm.
they'll gain 3,000 to 10,000 fans in 20 days.
I mean, but look at it. Like one time we went to Made in America and we saw Jaleel for the first time jumping off of stuff.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
integral.
What was the difference between your first tour that you ever managed compared to your recent ones? Like, what did you learn on the way?
God, so much. I mean, when I first started with touring, I worked in like the commercial side of the game, which was much less involved, right? So like when you're like a major artist, you're normally touring like Live Nation and AG. You're not very much involved. Live Nation and AG handle all that stuff, or the label, or the reps. Like they handle damn near everything. Now, like independently, you're involved in like offers, contracts, collection, the advertising, the routing. You know, it's
Because you
full
have a
scale.
tour coming up, right?
Yeah, yep,
Is that what you do at this point?
yeah. I handle everything. I handle hotels, flights, drives, payments to artists, payments to employees, 1099s,
Oh, all the tax shit, too.
merch splits. Well, I handle it. We have a business manager. and
okay,
accountant,
I
but
get
I
it.
handle the turning in the 1099s to the business manager. Yeah, all the contracts. You know, TMing the night of for multiple artists because Chris now goes out very much like a Tech Nine. Like we bring the entire tour, not
Okay.
like just Webby going out on tour. We bring everything. You know, so we have like merch and screens and lighting and front of house boards. Like we travel like a full
Full team,
band,
yeah.
full team, 15
How do
to
you
20
guys
people.
pick what cities you go to?
With Webb, it's much more now. I mean, he's done like 30 headlining tours. So for Chris, we know where he's good at. But
Okay.
streams, like with Anoyd now is starting to go out and do shows. We just did like a double night in Portland, Oregon. 'Cause Portland, Oregon was
The
streaming
list.
well over there, and he was doing well on socials in Portland. He did Atlanta, he did New York, we did Boston. So you can really pick and choose and see what your biggest market is based on streams and social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's a big misconception that artists have about touring?
I think how much money it costs to go out on the road.
It's a lot.
It's a ton of money. I mean, you know, just let's just say for Chris, like for us, a little bit different because we like own the Sprinter and like the box truck and stuff. But like, just say you're a newer artist and you have to rent a caravan for 20 days, right? That's $4,000,
Yeah.
right? And then if you're not willing to sleep in your car, which is a real grind, you're,
Have you guys done that?
I mean, Chris used to 2010, 11. I mean, we all kind of came from that, you
Right.
know, but we don't anymore. But
Yeah.
you start there.
Things are
normally.
up. Yeah.
But again, too, I feel like you stated, a lot of people are much more unwilling to do that now
Yeah.
versus then because of what they see and the
Perception,
expectation and
right.
perception, you know. But if you got to rent a hotel room, one room, say you're going out with 4 guys, 4 of you are in one room, right? And then one room a night is $100 a night. So
Mm.
now that's $2,000. So that's $6,000. And then you need the 3 people. Just say you're a rapper. If you have to bring a DJ and a merch guy and like, I don't know, like a homie. So how do you get 3 people to come out kind of like for free when you're not making really any money touring, or you have to pay them $50 a day, $100 a day,
Something. Yeah.
So these people are leaving, so even if it's $50 a day times there's 150 a day times 20 days.
So yeah, when does this become profitable? Like,
once you have real fans,
Okay.
that the independent is a slow grind, right? You don't see you've never seen an independent artist on Jimmy Fallon or Kimball or
Right.
they don't make it there, right? So like it's a slow grind. But like if you can maintain and stick with it and like figure a way at the end of that slow grind or like at the mark, like even with Anoyd, like he's now at a point where like he's making $100,000 a year off his music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it took him, I mean, Anoyd will tell you 5, 6, 7, 8 times he thought about quitting and getting a real job. Even when he had looks, like even we were meeting with Rock Nation and Universal, and he was contemplating doing construction.
what a pivot.
That's real though.
It's
Construction's a paycheck.
No, for sure.
Right.
So like I think it's just more about understanding that touring is expensive, and then understanding the room, right? Like if you're in like, so I got a friend right now who's like huge on the social media, right? But her music doesn't do well. She's more of a character than she is a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets 10 bands to host a nightclub. But I tried to put together a tour for her, and venues were offering her $1,000 to come do a show.
Like,
with a back end, if you sell tickets, you get more money.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, "No, I'm not touring." Like for years, fuck touring. I make $30,000 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now she's begging to go on the road.
She'll probably make more money. She'll probably have to structure the tour in a way where it's like her fans could come and meet her in person,
and then do that's what we were trying, this interactive
on
meet
top
and
of
greet and all of that, but a lot of artists haven't built. I mean, you look at like a Jim Jones or like a Fabulous, they don't tour. They go on tours. They do nightclubs.
Yeah.
You catch them doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're not touring like Tech or Webb or Yellow Wolf or Hobson or like, those are tours. The Lox is probably like one of the only hip hop artists that like tours. You know what I'm saying? Like going to sell out 1,200 tickets at Toad's Place is not going to Sin City nightclub and 1,000 people showing up.
Right.
Like that's club goers going to clubs. That's not fans going to shows.
Right.
They just happen to be there.
It's different.
What's like the worst or sketchiest like tour situation have you been in?
God, so many. So many. I mean, just like broken down vehicles in the absolute middle of like the frozen tundra in Canada. I mean, like tires falling off with 15 people in a tour van and saving everyone's life. Like I was on tour with Paul Wall where some like local cats from a city we were in asked him for a verse, and he was going to do the verse, but we couldn't get there in time to do the verse. And then they came and caught us outside with sawed off shotguns. They were blowing down at us, shooting at us. We're hiding behind like a green garbage can that's emptying shotguns.
How the fuck y'all get out of that situation?
Secure the club security.
Really?
Yeah. They came to it. They shot back, and the dudes ran.
Oh.
But I mean, there's been like a lot broke down tour vans getting pulled over by cops.
That's just a wildest thought. Like, you won't do a verse with me, so I'm gonna come and kill you because of it. Like,
and he would, the thing was we were going to, it was one of those things where like he went and did a radio interview. He was hungry, went to get food. By that time, it was like sound check. We just like, it just didn't work out.
Did they pay him for the verse?
No, but they were going to, and he was going to show up. Like he wanted the bag, and it just,
you ain't doing a verse with me. You ain't doing a verse with nobody.
It just got, you
gotta go, buddy.
Right.
So there's been like so many. I mean, just we were in Canada like I don't know, it was a year ago. We were driving from Ottawa, rush hour, probably like 8 a.m. Big city. You know what I'm saying? Like the tire fell off the van.
Yeah.
There's 13 people in the van, plus I have a trailer in the back, and I look in the rearview mirror, and the trailer is over on one wheel. The van is, because it's a tall top, we're like coming up in the air in the back, coming down in the air. I went across like 5-lane highway and landed that bitch like a
You're driving?
plane. Yeah.
Oh.
I drive too on the road.
Oh, when you're damn.
Yeah, I am the responsible parent. I make sure that my guys are good. I mean, if it's one thing, like any of my guys will ever tell you in any tour, like I make sure my guys are like safe and good.
How long is this tour that you got coming up?
This is short. Webb's kind of figured out a way and afforded himself the ability to, like, we don't go out and do like 30, 40, 50 cities anymore. There was a point where we did that, but like dudes are older, people got kids, our team got families and other jobs, you know what I'm saying? So we normally go out small clips, like 10 shows in 12 days, 15 and 18, 12 and 14. We've learned how to like cut down expenses. So like a lot, like when you get in a tour, say you're started in Connecticut and going to Cali, you know, there's 12 cities on the way that are the stops you need and where you're going to make money, right? But then you're forced to like you're supposed to do shows or not do shows.
Boise, Idaho.
Right. But like, I'm just saying, like, you're forced to, like, if you don't do a show in between a show, like say you have a show,
you lose money.
Yeah, you're losing money because you're not making it and you're staying out and your gas and all that. But then you're forced to kind of do these shows where like you may crush Cleveland, but like you're kind of forced to do Cincinnati because it's on the way somewhere. But like Cincinnati, you don't got a base in, you do 80 people, you know, like Webb would do like 700 in Cleveland and at one point, and then he would do 120 in Cincinnati. And it's like, we still made a little bit of money, but in terms of touring, it brought our averages down. It made us look bad to agents. It made us, so there's this thing, there's like a website where you can kind of track touring, and agents and clubs, and buyers, they go to this site and they look at your history. And if you're performing at venues like Toads or like Webster Theater, they report any venue that pays for like BMI and ASCAP is a reporting agency, like a live music venue.
I was gonna say that, like, why don't they do like I guess on those smaller cities, maybe like a club performance or something like that?
Because the problem is that most of the club shit is based solely on radio.
Okay.
Radio dictates, except for like Atlanta, Chicago, LA, radio dictates what's being played in the club.
Okay.
Now,
like, that's why if you go to, like, artists say all the time, like, yo, you play my record in a club, it's like, bro, if you were a DJ, like, ask a DJ, well, you're playing banger after banger after banger, and then you just throw on a local record.
The whole club is quiet.
The whole, you know, like, because it's so dictated on what they're listening to every day. You know what I'm saying? So much different than the radio. Like, you throw some shit on like that at a club, it'll fuck the whole night up.
I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, the funny thing is being out, going out sometimes, and like they have like a local artist performing, and I walk in, I'm like, I immediately want to leave for whatever reason. You know, like it's just
you're part of the problem.
Right,
you're part of the problem. You were calling him out for it.
So we go out for short stints, but you know, some artists do long ones. But we normally do like 4-5 runs a year, and we break them up into smaller dates.
Nice.
So this is our pocket watching segment, so we're gonna get into your pockets a little bit. All right. So how much does a manager actually make? I guess what are the percentages, the fees, deals? Like, what is your expected income from? Not your personal income, but how much could a manager expect to make?
It just depends on how much the artist makes. It's so dependent on what they make, because you make a percentage of what they make. So you make, most managers, like independently or like homies, they get 10% normally. Industry managers normally get like 20%. So it just depends. Like, I'd say I've worked for artists for 3 and 4 years without a paycheck.
Yeah. Just because you saw the potential.
Yeah.
So where does your income come from?
I work for artists now that make a lot of money. So it did, I managed Ray J for a bit. During my stint with him, I made good money. I worked for Paul Wall for a bit. During my stint with him, I made good money. But again, too, the management is different. So like, some I co-managed with other people. Some was a road manager. Some was a tour manager. Some was an actual manager. So like, I don't know, if you have like, just say like a baseline mid-level successful artist, like, I don't know, who could I use? Like, say like a Jim Jones. You probably make a couple $100,000 a year,
Okay.
150 to 200.
Okay.
What's and kind of a personal question? What's the biggest check you ever got from managing someone? Like that was like the check that cut you was like
One check?
yeah, like that was like stood out to you.
My first one was my biggest check. Angie Martinez and Sicario.
How much was that?
Couple hundred.
100,000.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was the biggest sole check I ever opened.
And that was
Really?
like yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It was early too.
So how do managers get paid? So let's just say you manage a Ray J or even a Chris Webby. Where is that money coming from? Like, are you worked into the contract? Do you have a fee for managing them?
Yeah, there's normally a contract. So Webb is different. It's different than any other artist again too, because he's figured out how to do it. So like I guess I manage Chris, but he doesn't have a manager.
Okay.
He's figured out that he can run his own ship, and he needs people
In certain positions.
To
So
like
make it easier.
I do management things, but he pays me a salary instead of a percentage, because in the independent world, all of your money comes from your music, which is something the manager is not involved in.
Gotcha.
But in the mainstream world, most of your money comes from outside of music, which is everything.
So you
the
also
manager is
manage
involved
Anoyd, right?
Yes.
So your contract with him it's more of a standard one.
Yeah, I Anoyd's been a little bit different. His partner Pace is like a good friend of mine, and I have a partnership with him. There's another dude, Ant, that's involved now, and I've become a little bit less involved in Anoyd, only because he's been now doing things like Webb does. Like Anoyd is now stepped up and like handling his own a lot of his own business and like a lot of his own stuff, where you don't necessarily like need a manager. Like you need a manager, but the structure, the day-to-day guy, you don't need anymore.
Gotcha.
That's what a lot of independent guys are doing currently. But there's managers, like if you manage someone like Drake, you'll probably make $2 to $4 million, $5 million a year.
So I don't even know if that you said that, because his manager, I think he ended up just having an issue with his manager because his manager was also managing Kendrick Lamar or something like that. And
they all manage each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a homie right now. He manages the Suicide Boys. They're like the biggest group in the world independently, and the dude's making like $500,000 a month. A month.
Jeez.
It's crushing life.
All right. So my next question is, what has been your biggest financial mistake?
And this is outside of music, just in general. Like,
it was, I think, trying to just keep up with the Joneses.
Okay.
Really, I've spent, I don't know, probably $250,000 on bottles.
Like liquor?
Yeah.
$250,000 over how long?
A long period of time.
Okay.
Like I wasn't
still a lot of money, no matter what.
But like flying, like I needed to meet people. I needed to get my artists out there. So what? My flights to the Grammys and the MTV Awards were on my dime. Like buying Rolexes, and so I could walk into meetings and get taken seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like I bought.
Which are nice, by the way.
They are very nice. But like when you do a lot of things to try and like get to a point. You know what I'm saying? So like I just blew. Don't get me wrong, I was very smart with my money. Like I bought things, I bought businesses early, I bought properties early, like 21, 22, 23 years old. So like I didn't just blow it all, but I blew
a lot,
a ton of money.
Okay.
On just
That's a lot of
nothing.
liquor, dude.
Yeah, I blew over $1 million on nothing. Like nothing that I could put my hands
sustainable.
on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My next question is, what is your current financial goals?
Much like with the artists, my financial goals I moved the goalpost.
Okay.
Like I'm okay. Like I have a fuck ton of assets.
Yeah.
So like
do you mind sharing some of the assets?
Real estate.
Okay.
Yeah, and money
Like
market accounts,
rental
and Bitcoin. Yeah,
okay.
rental properties. Bitcoin. I have quite a bit of digital coin. I have quite a bit of gold and silver.
Okay.
I got into that kind of early and started collecting that.
Gave you the knowledge to get into this early? Like, was this like something from your parents? Like what made you do?
No,
because a 21-year-old gets a $300,000 check or whatever it was.
It was hanging around Millionaires.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My first internship was given to me by Diddy.
Really?
My first paying job was given to me by.
I didn't see you in the doc, so
No, it wasn't in the doc. Although I got harassed by a Hollywood E company trying to interview me for a
Really?
Diddy doc.
really,
Yeah, I turned it down every time. Like 6 times they hit me.
like they're offering to pay you.
Yeah, 10 grand.
That's not. I mean,
It's not enough.
not for you.
No.
I take it.
But yeah, no. It was, my first paying job was getting by Dame Dash and Lenny S. Like I was around people I had no business being.
Yeah.
How did you first get into it? Like, what was your intro? Like, from like a dude from like you were born in Southern or
Yeah.
raised in Southern. Like,
Yeah.
how does a guy from Southern get in contact with Dame Dash, Diddy, all these other big music execs?
I mean, just really going to the city. So like I got an internship at a radio station when I was like 19. It was an AM station. It was before Hot 93 even existed. Started working for KG. KG took a chance on me and hired this 19-year-old kid to be his manager. KG needed music, and back then there was no emails. There was no MP3s. So the only way to get music was to get vinyl. The only way to get vinyl was to get on an email list. So KG would pay for me to take a train, and I would go to the city. I would get the address out of a yellow page phone book, and I would go sit at Universal or Arista. I would get to the city at 7:30, and I would sit outside of Arista for 10 hours.
What was your income at this point?
No income.
I mean, where were you? How were you surviving? How old were you?
I mean,
19.
19. My mom was giving me $50.
Okay.
Like I used to sell drugs, like enough to make.
Yeah.
Just enough to
money,
get by,
what I'm saying?
right?
But like there was no income. I started to make a little bit of money. I started running mixtapes. I used to run mixtapes for Clue, Who Kid, Envy. Yeah. So like what happened was I was running KG's mixtapes, and I found out where all the stores were. And then like once you get one DJ, another DJ calls, and another DJ calls. So I was running mixtapes.
You're like the definition of networking, yo.
Yeah, but again too, I knew if I was going to manage rappers, I needed DJs. How to get DJs by distributing their mixtapes. And then instead of me paying to get on Who Kid or Big Mike, I'd be like, yo, Mike, put Mughal Fair on the CD. I'll take a box of 400 and I'll move them for you at stores. I was always
And even exchange
making
kind of
myself
thing. Right.
available and making myself
Nice,
useful. You know what I'm saying? And then record store in downtown Waterbury, Aaron
remember
from the
that.
record shop.
I remember that.
Aaron was my guy. He had this Def Jam bag that hung on the wall for years. I was going there as a kid, years. And I would always ask him for it. It was just such a cool bag. And he got it from Def Jam. They like gave it to him because he used to sell all the vinyls.
Okay.
And one day he was like, yo, you've always wanted this bag. Like, give me $40. So I started to buy vinyl from Aaron. I'd buy like $1 and $2 vinyls. I would take the train to the city with this Def Jam bag, and I would go to the tunnel. I would go to Envy, and I would walk up to the door and be like, yo, I'm here for Def Jam. I got to bring Flex, this vinyl. And they would escort me to the DJ booth, and I'd be sitting in the DJ booth with like Flex, Envy, Fat Joe, Angie.
And you didn't really know nobody. You just kind of
Didn't
like
know
snuck in there. And
They didn't
then-
know me, but they seen me with a Def Jam bag. So they thought I was important. That's how it's literally.
Yo, fake it till you made it, yo.
Bro, I was doing it every day. Every fucking day. I wore that Def Jam to the point where like the strap broke and my mother sewed like a secondhand strap on it for me. It was my godsend. It got me into
That was your
so
golden
many
ticket.
buildings. Yes.
Damn, that's crazy.
So like it was really that. So like I was hanging around with people and in places with people that like looked at me like I already had money.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have any. But because I was in the building, it seemed like I did.
Damn.
So yeah, and I'm an information sponge too. I consume information at a rapid rate. I've been like that since a kid. Whether it's like reading or listening, like I listen to everybody. Dumb, not dumb, educated, not educated.
You just take it all in.
Don't care. So I'm an information buff.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. What's the most money you made from a deal? I mean, you said that was the 200,000 was, or a couple 100,000 was your biggest check. Is that the most money you made out of a deal, or?
No, not overall. I made
Okay.
I had a $500,000 overall deal with a company that I did it was $500,000 to me, but it was over like 10 years.
Okay.
Like outside of music, that was like another company?
It was inside of music.
Okay,
It was
okay.
a deal I put together for an artist,
Okay.
and my residual on it was a
Oh, damn.
$500,000. Yeah, but it was over 10 years.
Yeah.
So I've been
I mean,
50 grand a year. But.
you seem like pretty well versed in the whole financial space. So what would be one piece of advice that you would give to somebody that is trying to tap into that?
Assets, appreciating assets. It's everything. It's, we had this conversation about debt and good debt and bad debt, and credit card debt is still good debt. Even though it's at 28%, it's still good debt because a creditor doesn't give a fuck what the rate is. A creditor cares that you have debt, because if you have debt in good standing, it means you pay your debt.
Are you promoting credit card debt right now?
Dave Ramsey will be disappointed.
So I promote credit card debt with a means to an end and the ability to afford the payments, right? Because all right, if you could have a 700 credit score, right? If you have one credit card with $1,000 credit limit, if you went to buy a home, they would laugh you off the block. They don't care that your score is 700. They care that you have one credit card with one line of credit and your debt is only $1,000. Anybody can pay $1,000 debt. If you have 20 grand in debt and you pay on 20, they're going to give you 400, 500,000.
Yeah, fuck you more. I feel like that's the problem in America, though.
But why is it fuck you more? Why is it?
I feel like most people they're going to take that and be fucked for life, man.
Why though?
I just don't think they'll be able to pay it off.
So listen,
and then they're like one paycheck away from just losing the house, man.
Listen, okay,
sure. If you
don't make the money,
do you think
you shouldn't take the loan?
Okay,
right? But like, if you can comfortably make a $3,000 mortgage, then you should take that loan. And in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, you borrow against the asset. Every house I've ever bought was bought against another house. I've never used my own money.
Do you mind sharing how many houses you own? No?
A handful.
8?
A handful.
A handful. I thought you said 8.
No.
8 and full.
No, a handful.
Okay, a handful.
But like I've never accumulated anything I've ever bought with my own money.
Okay.
I've done it with the debt that
Even your businesses.
Huh?
Even your businesses.
Yeah. Well, the bagel shop, I took cash out of my savings and put it down, and I opened the shop.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But like,
what was different about the bagel shop to everything else you've done?
It was the first time I've ever done anything like that.
Okay.
I've never been involved in like food ever in my life.
Okay.
And I wanted it to not be attached to anything else. Like I wanted it to be like a completely separate entity. I didn't want it to be attached to debt from another company or debt from a house.
Was it like more of a protective thing? If in case it failed, it wouldn't affect everything else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I also had a partner in the bagel shop.
What made you transition to food? Like it's kind of like from what you've done up to your life. It's like what it was kind of like a out of nowhere.
Is that like your actual first business?
No, I've had dozens.
Okay.
Yeah, I've owned a couple of laundromats and car wash, and I owned a power washing company and a lawn care company and a management company, and but it was COVID, and it was my girl at the time. When COVID happened, I was still getting a salary, but the salary could have easily dwindled because the artists weren't making as much money because they weren't doing shows and just wasn't the same. Yeah. And then a lot of my money that I make on the road. I make really good money on the road, and there was no road.
Yeah.
And there was no sign of it coming back. And if it did, could we only be in the U.S.? And did we have to get shots? And, so it was...
It was looking grim.
It was looking grim. And my significant other always wanted like a coffee shop. I mean, we spent like the first 5 years of our relationship just like going out to coffee shops and little bakeries, and like we were like food connoisseurs. But that was kind of our thing. And she always wanted to have one, and I've always thought about having one. And then with COVID happening, it was like it gave me the time to focus on something that wasn't music for the first time in my life. And I also seen, man, during COVID, some places just boomed, and it was places like bagel shops. They were busy. Coffee places were busy all day long.
You were just seeing dollar signs.
But it was, you couldn't go to X, Y, and Z. So if you were like, the owner of Fancy, he'll tell you like, the craziest time, not in terms of like maybe money he was making, but in terms of like selling bagels, it was COVID.
Really?
And like people were coming, like they didn't sit inside and he didn't have to talk to anybody. And it was, it was like
In and out.
yeah.
Pay me and leave.
I also I learned a long time ago traveling like across the world that breakfast is the easiest way to make money in food. Because like lunch you will skip, dinner you will skip. Most people will not skip breakfast or coffee.
I've heard of the opposite, that a lot of people skip breakfast.
Not creatures of habit.
Okay.
So like the working class, the kids going to school, like breakfast and coffee. And the same people that skip breakfast won't skip coffee.
No, that they won't
I
skip.
sell 40,000 cups of coffee a year.
Damn.
40,000. They don't skip coffee.
It's an addiction.
And people that are on this, like, I don't know, wave where they fast or whatever to noon is one thing, but the majority of people eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Like during the day, you're at work. So like you only eat if you get a 30-minute break or if you can make it somewhere or if you pack the lunch. Like on your way to work, there's one thing you can do.
Stop and get a coffee.
Stop and get a coffee or a sandwich. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like also per food, the shortest hours are breakfast. I didn't want something that I was going to be hinged to 70 hours a week or 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Close early.
You can close early. The 90% of your money comes from for one reason, where like it's also breakfast is a much smaller menu. When you look in terms of like dinner, it's a huge menu. You
This is like
there.
very well calculated. Like
Yeah.
this wasn't like a random person.
I'm a super numbers, average statistics guy. Like I that's all I go by.
Okay.
Like I'm a very, there's a yes and a no. There's not a maybe. It's black and white.
Right.
There's nothing really in the middle,
Gotcha.
that's in my opinion. But when I think about what I'm going to do, I try to make informed decisions. Like I knew that restaurants were like, you may open at 3:00 to midnight, but I also know that prep took 3 or 4 or 5 hours and cleanup took 2 hours. So like the average normal cook is working 80 hours a week, 70 hours a week, even though the work portion of it is 45.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I knew there's two things that will never die, and it's liquor and coffee. There's just two things that will not go away.
So you got a liquor shop?
No, I wish. I wish. Liquor permits are frozen in Connecticut.
Oh, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My last question is, you touched on some of the previous businesses that you had before, but what was your very first business?
My first business was a landscaping company. I was a troubled kid. Like I was in jail for a bit. I did like 20 months.
Mhm.
Then when I
What
first
did you get locked
got
up
out,
for?
it was a lot. I had gotten arrested, I don't even 14 or 15 times by the time I was 16. And then the
Damn.
thing that I went to jail for was like a home invasion scenario. I got 5 years. I did 22 months, and the two dudes I went to jail with did 8 years and 12 years.
How'd you get last time?
I was a minor. I was a kid.
Oh.
And they also, those two dudes took the blame for everything. I was there, so they knew I was involved somehow, but they
didn't know.
two real ones.
Damn.
Two.
They
They got caught
looked- they
with
looked
a
out.
couple of guns. They said I had nothing to do with it. Was
You still you still know them?
I haven't seen either of them in a very long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was young, so but yeah, landscaping, and then I started a power washing company. This is how I got to know restaurants a bit. I started working for a power washing company, and we used to do restaurant hoods, with the hoods in the back with the filters and the fans, and that was that and the landscaping company I opened up simultaneously because restaurants per insurance have to get cleaned 2 and 3 times a year, and there wasn't many companies that offered that service.
You're ahead of your time.
Yeah. So
Is there a good amount of money in landscaping? I guess my perception is that like per yard, it's only like what, like $30-$50 a
yeah,
yard?
it's
So
not. The
like-
money comes really with contracts, like
Okay.
condominium contracts, where like a condominium complex will come to you and say, "All right, we're going to give you 75,000 for the year, snow and grass." So like
I mean, yo, that is how it goes. I'm part of like the board committee for my condo. The amount we fucking pay these people is nuts.
And if you take into account, like, say, the last few seasons, they may only do $3 to $5 grand worth of plowing.
I know they're pissed this year.
Right. That's the problem with the contracts is like you might spend 20 grand on people for the summertime cutting all that shit, and then you hope it's not that busy for winter, and then this winter they got hammered, and they might have lost some money.
Yeah.
So it's like also too landscaping in like certain areas. Like if you're a landscaper in Boca or like Hollywood, you're like trimming hedges for fucking $400 an hour. It's much different than here.
All right, Chris, man, we've talked music. We've talked business. We've talked touring. Let's get a little personal now.
Uh-oh.
All right, let's talk some relationship, man.
I'm with it.
All right. What's the biggest dating red flag to you?
Bad communication.
Bad communication?
Yeah, number one.
Are you a good communicator yourself?
I'm not going to say I'm the best at it. I'm the most open to it at all times. Okay. I'm like a person who likes to face it head on. I don't like to let it marinate.
Okay.
And I think the ability to communicate with someone is usually the biggest problem in most relationships.
All right. What's a habit you had to unlearn to be a better partner?
I'm not always right.
How do you learn that one, dude? I'm still there because every argument I'm in with my girl, I'm 100% right.
Even when you're right, you don't have to be right.
Explain
what do you mean by that?
So
that's some old head advice right there.
They all say knowledge,
some arguments just aren't worth winning. You know what I'm saying? Because it also too, when you argue with your partner, you're both losers, no matter who's right.
Okay.
Because you being right makes her feel
like shit,
inferior, and vice versa. Right? Like my ex, who is very much someone that I wish was not my ex.
Right.
And someone I hope to
rekindle.
To rekindle with.
Yeah.
I was so busy trying to teach her things sometimes that I didn't realize that sometimes I made her feel dumb. Even though she wasn't
condescending.
Yeah, but not even in a, like, sometimes people just have to learn on their own. Sometimes people have to figure out a way. You can't be right about everything. You can't coach them all everything. You can't coach it all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're hitting home.
It builds resentment.
I feel like that's my problem. I feel like I'm too invested in the other person's growth.
But it's so fucking hard when you see like obvious answer and they don't want to take it, man. Yeah. It's like, yo.
No, it is. And, a part of that falls on communication, but I think at some point someone's going to be who they are. You know what I'm saying? And I think that I wish I would have just realized sooner that, like, I don't always got to be right. And I just don't always have to be the one to teach at that moment.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And even too, with a teachable moment coming from one person is not a teachable moment coming from another person. And once you've been with someone for so long, sometimes you can either look at it, someone looks at it where it's like all they want to do is learn from you because you're close enough to them and that's who they trust. And then at some point, it gets to a point where they don't have an identity without you. You know what I'm saying?
That's dangerous.
I think a big issue is that I was so involved in helping her get to a point that she felt she didn't have an identity without me.
Can you paint the picture of this relationship? How long was it?
We were together for, like, actually together, like 7 years, and then like 2 years of like this weird on and off.
Yeah, we all been there.
But prior to her, I'd been single my entire adult life.
Oh, damn.
Because I met her. She's 10 years younger than me. I met her when I was 34.
Okay.
Right? So, and she was 24. So she was still becoming
a person.
An adult, you know what I'm saying? So I was already established. So, we did so much together for so long that I think she felt like she needed
time
to stand on her own thing and grow in her own space.
I think I know the answer to my next question here. Okay. If you could apologize to one ex, who would it be and why?
Her. It would be her. But I also see her every day, so I apologize to her quite often.
You guys work together?
She is my partner in the business, and I added her to some houses.
Do you feel like that becomes messy when like you have broken up with a person and you guys are?
It's so hard, like separating that way. But
yeah, I mean, I could imagine it's like she's talking about fucking the overhead. It's like, I love you.
Right? I don't care about the overhead right
well, the
now.
other part too is just like,
you know what's over my head? A dark cloud without you.
Nah, you know what it is? It's like it's hard to like move on. Like if she wants to or if I wanted to, it's just difficult because we see each other every day.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, but I tell you what, she's the best partner I could ask for in business. She's fucking incredible. Like she's incredible.
She keeps it very professional.
Yeah,
that makes it worse for me because like
I know,
there's no blurred lines, nothing.
I know, it does go there. But also, she's very like reliable and she's a rock and she's good at what she does. But like, yes, also I looking at her like, you know, you don't love me.
Yeah.
What?
Yo, there's nothing worse than like when a girl's talking to like a fucking like secretary.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? It's
God.
like,
like a corporate email.
Yeah.
Yo, I got a phone call the other night, like 10:20.
Mm-hmm. You're excited.
We're back. We're back.
We're back.
At least not back. At least if we were back for a night.
Right.
I miss it, baby.
She was like, "Yo, so for the special next month," and I was like, "Oh."
You talking about
It's a
bagels?
stab to the heart. What's special?
So yeah, it would be her. It would be
Okay.
for a variety of things. Like I think I did a lot of good. And I think I love her more than as much as I could have. I just think that I just along the way made some bad choices and decisions.
At what point in time, or I guess, how long did it take for you to realize or come to this place that you're at right now, where it's like
With her,
you could have done better in a
God,
relationship?
when I actually believed she was gone.
And when did that come about? Like how many years after? At what point after the breakup?
Maybe a year ago.
Okay.
You know, like it was the change in her view of me. Like I woke up one day and was just like, damn, she doesn't see me as the same person.
Oh, that's like heartbreak.
Yeah. Like I feel like she didn't view me the same way. She didn't respect me the same way. And it wasn't necessarily because I did something wrong. I think it was just like
You feel like that other got cut. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh,
something
it's
happened to make her
it's a coldness.
react
It's a
different to
coldness
me.
you feel like.
Right.
And you hear it all the time. Like once a woman has actually broken up with you or left you,
It's a
well, not only that, but she probably left you 2 years earlier in the relationship
yeah.
and mourned for 2 years, and then mourning ended and she was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it was never like that with me and her. There's always been like a closeness, but like you could tell something changed.
There's a shift.
Yeah.
How would your exes describe you?
Emotionless. Outside of her, emotionless.
Oh, like just cold, stoic.
Yeah, don't care about anything, don't care about feeling. Like, again, too, I work in a music business and I work for a lot of rappers and I travel the world. So I've seen women be terrible over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I believed in relationships at like an extremely low level. Like I believe like, you know, and I still believe this, but like 1% of people is going to find their person and enjoy their life together.
Okay.
Like I believe people will be in relationships, but I don't believe people fulfill themselves in relationships.
So, yeah, what's more important to you when it comes to relationship? Like passion or consistency?
Consistency.
Okay.
Yeah, consistency. I mean, passion is a feeling. Consistency is an action. You know what I'm saying? And I feel the same. I feel the same way. Love is a feeling. Commitment is an action.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
So like you can fall in and out of love with someone, but commitment is something you choose to wake up and do every day. I also think like during a relationship you're with someone for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, I feel like you fall out of love with them, but you're committed to getting back to
Into
a
it.
spot.
Or
Okay.
You know
committed
what I'm saying?
to completing your
Or
responsibility.
right. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like I feel like commitment is probably the most important thing. Passion is good for the moment, and I also think that like passion is good for feelings. But the handful of times we've gotten back close, it was because she realized my commitment to
Was-
her and
was
to
strong.
be there at any time, no matter what, was strong. It wasn't, don't get me wrong, like certain things for certain moments you pop back in and you pop back out. But
Yeah.
I think anytime she realized or anytime I realized what it was the consistency.
Would you say, obviously you just said like being on the road and, seeing like that side of women kind of jaded you a little bit.
Yeah.
Was there other issues while you were on the road that could have contributed to issues? Like, like obviously you're around a lot of women. They're probably throwing at you at the artist, stuff like that.
No, for sure. I used music as a scapegoat for the majority of my life. Like, I'm too busy. I'm always on the road. I'm in clubs every night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used that as a scapegoat to not be in a relationship. But it was the easiest way to upfront tell a woman I wanted nothing but sex.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm in clubs every night. You don't want me. I'm on the road 200 days a year. Not relationships. And they would be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a huge cheater because I never really committed to anyone to cheat on. And I'm also don't do things for no reason. I'm a calculated person. So like if I feel like I would cheat on you, I won't be with you.
Right.
Like I'm just not I'm not gonna dive right into something. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I'm also a super dickhead. Like I have a monotone personality. I'm a very blunt person in general. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm not a flirt with everybody guy. I'm not like a smile at you dude. Like I don't entertain. I'd be very busy and consumed, so I just don't entertain a lot. So like for me, being faithful wouldn't have been. I was never unfaithful to her ever.
Okay.
I guess another personal kind of like off script question. In the times where you guys did reconnect, I guess what have prevented you from taking it to the next step?
Or getting back to the
Communication.
Getting back together.
Communication. All right. So my final question on the relationship segment is: you have a daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would be the best relationship advice you'd give to your daughter?
Jesus. Probably just understand your value. You know, like understand who you are, understand what you bring to the table, understand your worth, understand your value. You know, like that's, I would say, the most important thing. I think a lot of women underestimate their value. I think a lot of women who end up in bad scenarios at a young age don't believe in themselves, don't understand their value as women. You know, like for me, men control the world and women control men. So who really runs the world? Right? Like I think a lot of women forget their value sometimes that they bring to a man. And I also I'm a believer in you are so much better as a man with a good woman. I believe you're so much better. I'm in business, in life, in relationship with your child.
They say married men out earn single men by like 6 times.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
Because they enjoy their job. They're not worried about X, Y, and Z. It's also nice to have some type of contributing income. It's nice for like, a lot of women control spending in the country, not because they make more money necessarily, but because men are in control normally of 2 major purchases a year, house and car. Women normally are tasked to pay the bills, tasked to do the shopping, tasked to groceries, tasked for clothes for the kids. Women kind of control the spending. So having a backbone, as well as I do, a lot of men just want to come home and like
decompress, right?
Yeah, chill.
Put their head on your shoulder and just chill. They don't even necessarily need to talk. They don't necessarily need anything. It's just about having someone.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I got a lot of shit to teach my daughter. My daughter she's 16.
She's that age.
Yeah. She just went for a college stay a couple days ago. Stayed the weekend at a college. So she's a junior. She'll be a senior next year, but she's driving now. It's, and she also grew up. she grew up. I've taken her on the road with me. I've taken her, going backstage at concerts and shit. So she's pretty. She's got a good head on her shoulder and a lot of street smart because she was out with me a lot.
Yeah.
I'm also her kid's mother moved when she was 2. So I've had my daughter full time on my own since she was 2 by myself.
Damn, that's rare.
Yeah, my mother helped heavily involved, like
Yeah.
especially with going on tour and stuff. But
Yeah.
I am a through and through like single
Active dad.
father, active dad. Yeah, she's lived with me for 15 of her 16 and a half years in life.
Nice.
So
They say single dads make the best parents when it comes to like single parents.
yeah, we got a really good relationship, like a really incredible relationship, honestly. Super honest, and she tells me shit she probably shouldn't, probably that I would have never told my parents, but which is a good thing, you know what I'm saying? But
Nice.
I think that was another part too. I feel like by the time she was like 10 years old, it was also one of those like reflection moments for me, like having a daughter and like not being a dude that I didn't want her
Right.
to be around, you know what I'm
right.
saying? And also
Absolutely.
too realizing that there was someone to leave something to and like
Yeah.
a goal now outside of even but when she was born and even up until she was 10, I was still so engulfed in music. Like until my daughter was like 5 or 6, I was on the road like 200 days a year.
Damn.
Like my mother was
Really came through.
But when I was home, I was just home. There was no job.
Yeah.
Like
Full time.
yeah, for 165 days, I was picking her up, cooking, cleaning.
Yeah.
Like it's so when you're home, you're home, but when you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but after probably 7 or 8 years old, where I was just like, I gotta stop being on the road so much. I gotta stop. You know what I'm saying?
Be a parent.
Yeah, and be a full-time parent. So it's I think that also is really changing.
Grandma was getting tired.
Yeah, grandma was getting tired. Grandma was getting tired.
All right, so this segment is called "If You Could Say Something To." I'm gonna give you the names, and then you're gonna say what's the first thing that comes to your mind to this person.
Could be nothing. Could be something. Doesn't have to be that deep, but whatever pops up.
Okay.
All right. A brand new rapper.
Get ready for the long haul.
Okay. Mook and Fear.
God, my favorite 2 fucking artists ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 48.
Talented.
Okay. I mean, what would you say to them?
Oh, what would I say to them?
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not what did he call me?
Disgruntled.
Yeah, I'm not disgruntled. Dog. I am 48. I am not fucking disgruntled. Like, I'm successful. I'm not mad about anything. That's what I would say to 48.
Things are up, bro.
What would you say to Anoyd?
I love that man to death, dog.
Really?
I love him so much, and he is such a talented individual. I think I would tell him, and I do tell him all the time, I think he's the most talented artist I've ever came across.
Really?
Ever. And no one is even close. And I've worked with some of the best, and I don't think anybody even lights a fire next to him.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, wow. What would you say to Chris Webby?
Changed my life. Best human being I've ever met or came across.
What would you say to Ned Lamont?
Fuck that dude. Fuck him. He ruined the state and put us in a dumpster fire. I am not a fan of Ned Lamont.
How did he do that?
God, what didn't he do? I mean, like, just like everything, like taxes and corruption and stupid left-wing nonsense and corporate greed. There's so many bad things that have happened in Connecticut over the past like 10 years.
Because of Ned Lamont?
Because of him, also predecessors.
Yeah.
I think he inherited shit and turned shit into more shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a fan of Ned Lamont at all.
Okay. All right, last person. What would you say to Trump?
Shut the fuck up. I would say, like, keep doing what you're doing. Just shut the fuck up. Don't talk.
Just say less.
Say less.
Last segment here. You ready?
Nope.
This segment is if you had to play one artist for a road trip, who would it be? First 2 is 50 Cent and T.I.
50.
50 over Ti.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so many mixtape records.
Yeah.
So much more mixtape records.
Who do you think has more hits in total, 50 Cent or Ti? Obviously, 50 Cent
Like,
had a big impact initially and then
I think
just faded.
Hit. I think it might be Tip, but
Okay.
like street hits, it's not even close. Like I owned a mixtape store from 2000 to 2007. My entire 20 to 27 years old was G-Unit mixtapes. So like I feel like there's an abundance of more music.
For 50.
Yeah.
All right. Who would you listen to on a road trip? Ja Rule or Fat Joe?
Fat Joe.
Fat Joe. Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Fat Joe for me, Fat Joe was probably top 10 hit records in music.
Okay.
He's got a ridiculous catalog.
Ja
mean,
Rule
he-
got a nice catalog as well.
Yeah, but Ja Rule's like died. Fat Joe has made 4 top 10 records in the past 7 years.
That's a good point, bro. They still play Fat Joe at a club.
Yes.
Ja Rule, like, he definitely had a moment, but his songs do not get
But I
played.
mean, like, All the Way Up was a #1 record, and it was like semi-recent. Like, Fat Joe hasn't had a record. I mean, Ja Rule hasn't had a record since 2006.
Yeah. Damn. All right. Who would you listen to on a road trip? Usher or Chris Brown?
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
Yeah. Too much music. Usher probably like standalone better 1 or 2 albums,
Mhm.
but yo, Breezy's got like 400 records.
He drops like a 60 album, like a
60
60 song
song.
album,
Yeah,
like once a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a Chris Brown fan.
All
I
right.
also,
the Chris has got to stay together.
Yeah.
but I also worked for Chris when he was 15. I was the first person to ever book him for a show.
Really?
Tina Davis was like my mentor. Tina Davis was his manager. Also was a big wig at Def Jam, but she was the greatest and she managed him. And I was one of the first handful of people to book him for a show.
Nice, man. Yo, you got fucking CT history here, bro. All right. Who would you listen to on a road trip? Gunna or Wale?
Damn.
Or just turn the radio off? I mean, if you're not a fan.
I'm gonna say Wale, although Wale is a dickhead. He's an in-person fucking dickhead.
You met him?
So many times, and he's a dickhead.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see it.
I mean, he always, we've said it on the podcast before, he always comes off a little bitter. Like,
He's also one of those artists who's had so many hit records quietly and like doesn't ever get mentioned in a space.
I think and that's what makes him bitter
That's
about
what
it.
makes him bitter about it. But he's kind of a dickhead. Oh, I mean, I love like Gunna's melodies, but like Wale can rap and has melodies. He can make like really good records.
Not true. I'm a big Wale fan. All right, who would you listen to on a road trip? Lil Wayne or Jay-Z? Stumped.
Probably Wayne.
Probably. You don't
For-
sound too sure.
For a road trip, I would say Wayne.
Okay.
For like me driving in my car every day, it's gonna be Jay.
Jay? Okay.
But like for a road trip, I feel like I'm going somewhere. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like Wayne is like feel good music
Yeah.
and happy music versus Jay is like I gotta think music.
Try to have fun, man.
Yeah.
All right. Who would you listen to on a road trip? Future or Travis Scott?
Future.
That's an easy one. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. This might be a tough one here for you. Who would you listen to on a road trip? J. Cole or Kendrick?
For a long time, it was Kendrick, but I think now it's Cole.
Oh.
Yeah.
What shifted?
transition?
I think Dot started to get pretty repetitive
In what sense? Like with
in
the-
terms of like his flow and what he was talking about for a period of time. I also think, again, I think Cole makes me rethink what he says
Okay.
in terms of, did he just say that? And then I can understand it. K Dot makes me rethink to the point where I get
Okay. I think that's why you
Do I know
see
what's
people
going on?
battling in the comment section on what his intent is.
listen, even I say it about Anoyd when Anoyd is on his rap, like when Anoyd's on his rap, bro, he says some of the most wild shit that like 6, 7, 8 years later, I'm still just figuring out the nuance of it.
He's like in the kitchen making a bagel or some shit. Like, what?
That's
up?
what he meant.
Yeah, like sometimes a lot of rappers be over your head for the moment, or you have to be I gotta be in a space to digest Kendrick.
Now, do you think that's a superpower, or do you feel like sometimes you could go so far over a person's head that it's not digestible?
I think, I think it can go so far over someone's head it's not digestible. I think there's very few people that are wordsmiths like Kendrick that are able to make people pay attention. Like there's rappers that can rap like Kendrick, but they can't hold people's attention. Kendrick's been one of the handful of people that's like that gifted. Like he's gifted beyond most rappers.
Yeah, obviously.
Like, and not even just like, not in punchline form. I mean, in like actual ability to make words rhyme and scheming.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't even need a word to rhyme with it to make it rhyme. Like Anoyd uses like an ebonics that like makes records rhyme and have multiple meanings without saying the same word.
Right.
Right. All right. Who would you listen to on a road trip? Jadakiss or DMX?
Oh God, that's so difficult.
You beat him up with this one.
Oh, this is a tough one.
Got to commit to one, man. There's only a wrong answer. It's not even a right.
DMX.
I knew you were leaning that way.
Yeah, DMX. That's a hard one for me because they're both obviously from the same clique. But I don't know. I think like DMX just had this crazy impact on me when I was young. But like, you know, again, too, Jadakiss and the Lox was like a mixtape thing. Fun fact, DMX's last recorded verse was for Chris Webby.
Really?
Yeah, we were supposed to shoot the video the day he died.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did he put the song out?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
damn.
called We Up.
You gotta check it out.
Webby got
Alright.
records with everybody. Busta.
I didn't know you had a one with DMX. That's crazy.
Got a record with Busta he put out last year. The one with DMX, yeah, was literally it was his last recorded verse. We were supposed to Rook, you know, Rook CT. Rook was supposed to shoot. He's like the biggest video guy from Connecticut. He was supposed to shoot the video. We had like a treatment done. We were going to Yonkers to go fuck around with the Rough Rider people, and
Then
yeah,
that happened.
Yeah.
All right, man. Last one. Who would you listen to on a road trip? Kanye or Drake?
Drake.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Like Kanye would be nice on a road trip, man. But
he is. I'm a big fan of Drake.
So,
I'm
and this is why we connect with each other.
a big fan of Drake. I absolutely love Kanye. Like if it wasn't Drake, it'd be Kanye.
Okay.
But there's Drake.
But there's Drake. I also know Drake's like backstory, which is wild. Like what he went through and like how it happened for him. Like I was right there.
Like witnessing it.
Yeah, it was wild to
Really?
watch and like see it in real time.
I mean, that's definitely a story I have to get into another time, bro. But yo, that wraps up the episode.
Yeah.
Yo, thank you
Great
for coming
episode.
through,
Man.
man. Thank you for dropping some knowledge,
No,
some
thank
dope
you.
stories. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I talked about a lot more here than in different aspects than I have in others. So
And that's what, we try to pride ourselves on being,
Yeah.
an outstanding podcast, man. To
Okay.
try to really dive into somebody's
Yeah.
life outside of like the generic.
yeah, I mean it's tough too to stay on topic when
Yeah.
you start because everything kind of encompasses itself,
Yeah.
especially in
Yeah.
music. So it's tough for me when I start talking and then I end up somewhere else and then you end up asking me a question that pertains to that while we're still doing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's tough and I enjoyed
No, yeah.
myself though.
No, absolutely. We definitely enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Any final words?
Man, change your perspective. Everybody should change their perspective. No matter how bad it is, it could always be worse. No matter how bad you're doing, someone is doing worse. And also to Connecticut artists, man, just educate yourselves. We are in the day of information. Google is your friend. ChatGPT is your friend. Grok is your friend. Ask it questions. You know what I'm saying? That's it for me.
All right, hold on. Can we give a round of applause to the not so disgruntled?
Oh,
Yeah,
Chris
not so
Webby? Like, they try to
Yeah,
paint you out to be a demon.
Nah, yo, a lot of it just comes. Listen, I was the person that you came to, and I told you that you sucked. There's not many people that do that, and especially not many white dudes in music from Connecticut that do that.
okay.
And like it or not, I gave people my honest opinion, and like it or not, I'm just a very biased person who's able to like understand something for what it is, even if I don't like it, and accept something for what it is, even if I don't like it. But I wouldn't. I had a chip on my shoulder for a long time though, like almost like some Wale shit, because I felt like I had done so much and no one gave me credit for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like I just got to once actual success happened and I stopped faking success, I stopped being that way.
I like that, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
It took me to actually be successful to realize that I spent half my life faking being successful.
But it worked.
It worked.
Nice,
you know what
man.
I'm saying? So,
But all right, like I said earlier in the episode, drop a like, drop a comment, hit that sub button, and we'll see you next episode. Peace.